My future in-laws gave my fiance a house and left my name off the deed.
What am I, chopped liver?
My fiance, 27 female, and I, 29 male, grew up very differently. I was an immigrant who moved here when I was 6, and we were definitely struggling a lot. My parents worked extremely hard to provide for me and my siblings, and they always prioritized our education over everything. By the way, this comes from Due Policy 1268, and if you want to submit your own stories, go to the r/OKStorytime subreddit. I'm Savannah.
I'm Angie.
And we are here to give some good advice, goofily. But we don't have all the answers. We only tell you what we would do in this situation, but let us know what you would do in the comments. As OP says, my dad always told me it was his dream to live in a house that he owned, since we'd always rented. But he couldn't save up enough since we were renting in expensive areas with good schools. Unfortunately, both of my parents passed before being able to realize that dream. Ugh. My dad passed away when I was 17. Wow. And my mom passed away almost 3 years ago due to the vid. Ugh.
Wow.
My fiance grew up fairly wealthy, like private schools, designer clothes, 3 to 4 international vacations per year, flying first
Per year?
Yeah, that's crazy.
Holy crap.
Yeah, that's, good for them.
Good for you guys.
Wish it was me.
Yeah.
We're flying first or business class the whole way. I was able to attend college thanks to student loans, scholarships, and part-time jobs, which delayed my graduation a bit, while her parents were able to fairly easily cover all expenses themselves. However, I'm the last person to say that my fiance hasn't earned everything she's gotten. She's an extremely intelligent person, and besides funding her education, her parents are in no way responsible for her accomplishments. My fiance and I met 6 years ago when we started working at the same company, in the same position, at the same time, after graduating from college. So a lot of things lined up there for you.
Yeah, it looks like it.
All right. We hit it off almost instantly, and it didn't take long for us to start dating. Both of us still work at the company. However, I've progressed through the career ladder a bit more quickly than she has, and now make just over twice what she does. I'll be the first to admit that this is completely undeserved, and I've benefited from a lot of luck, and definitely some sexism as well, since we work in a male-dominated field. That has allowed me to aggressively attack my student loans, and once they were paid off, I put that into saving up for a down payment on a house as a way to fulfill my parents' dreams. Cute. I proposed about 6 months ago, and things have been great so far. However, this past weekend, we were at her family's house when her parents told us that for a wedding present, they were going to give us a house.
Whoa. Big present.
That is a humongous present.
Yeah.
I'd be like, wow, I don't have words.
Yeah, honestly.
Thank you. What?
Yeah.
My fiance was overjoyed, and although I was also happy, I wanted to know the details as well. Yeah, because also, what house is it? I'm sure
Yeah,
it's not a bad
true.
house.
Right.
But
right.
from
if
what
they're
he
flying
said.
first class, like
Yeah. Pretty quickly, her parents told us that the house would be in her name only, and that they expected us to sign a prenup to protect any and only pre-marriage assets, just in case. Ooh, okay. I get it, but also, I'm right here.
right. right.
Okay.
It's hard when like the parents are making that decision and not like your partner. Like if OP's partner was making that decision, I think it would be a little different.
Oh, for sure.
But if the parents are like, you're gonna take our money and your guys' divorce, so no.
Yeah, and it's like, oh, okay.
Right.
Weird. I was insulted that they thought I was after their money at all, since I make more than she does anyway. And I ended up telling them that they can't call it a wedding present if they only give it to one person.
Good point.
You got him there, OP. I then told my fiance I refuse to live in a house that I don't own, and she knows exactly why. All 3 of them got very upset with me. So, am I the a-hole? I don't think you're the a-hole at all.
Yeah.
I think I understand where the parents are coming with, like, a really nice gift and, like, a wedding present, like, buying someone a house that's, like, incredible. Like, but also bringing up all of the, like, prenup stuff and only putting it in her name and kind of, like, it's like a slap in the face.
Yeah, it's a little bit like congrats, but
Congrats, we got our daughter a house.
Yeah. It's not just an oversight, you know? This is deliberate.
This is definitely like some sort of statement they're trying to make, and I don't quite know what their problem is.
Right.
But there is an update. So I was requested to add some information that I included in the comments into my post. And I also just had a long conversation with my fiance and my in-laws. So I have a small update to share as well. Here's the info from the comments. The hilarious part of the whole prenup conversation was that they basically said that they expected the prenup to only cover premarital and inherited assets. They said they would absolutely refuse to accept any clauses that include future assets. So if I want to own a home where only my name is on the title, I have to purchase it before the marriage and also make sure to never use any of my wife's money to pay the mortgage or anything.
What? So if
what's the point of getting married?
Yeah, so if you want to get a house, you can, but your wife isn't allowed to contribute to mortgage? What?
Yeah, it's like, okay, so we're going to be married, but we're going to be living in 2 separate houses.
Yeah.
And paying our own expenses and not doing this as a team.
Like, what is this about, dude?
Yeah.
What?
It's crazy. Apparently, they already had their lawyer write the whole thing up, but wanted to give me a heads up so I can retain my own lawyer to review it. I have a suspicion that any lawyer is going to think it's massively unfair just based on how they've described it. And I'm assuming that they think I'll just get a cheap lawyer because of my upbringing. Admittedly, I don't know any better, so this is kind of difficult for me to determine what's fair and isn't fair here. But it doesn't seem fair to me. That's because it's not OP. It's not fair.
Exactly.
It's very blatantly unfair.
Right.
This all benefits their daughter.
Right. And they're not even trying to, like, hide it at
all.
No,
not at all.
They're just like, yeah, we actually don't want to give you anything at all.
And if you want to get a lawyer to check our work, feel free.
Right. Right.
Okay.
Like, okay.
That's crazy. That's not a wedding gift.
Yeah.
Besides that, though, it's also just a personal thing. I want to live in a house that I own, not them. Not my wife alone. I'm happy to live in a home that both my wife and I own, but not one she owns on her own. I don't want someone else living in the home that I own. I want to live in it myself. I also should mention that currently my fiance and I share our finances. She makes about $120K US dollars and I make about $250K US dollars. We split things according to income, so I pay around 2/3 and she pays around 1/3. Based on our conversations, my fiance and I both expected this arrangement to continue after our marriage. As for the update, well, I'll start with my fiance's older sister, 29 female, if it's relevant, calling me out of the blue a few hours ago to tell me that her parents did not ask her husband to sign a prenup before they got married. Ooh. So this is a him issue. They have something.
Yeah.
They got something against you, OP. I don't know what it is.
Yeah, we need to have like a big conversation about this for sure.
Yeah, that's crazy to just assume that he'd be okay with that.
Right.
And be like, here's your wedding gift. You're not included in it. Ah.
Right. Right.
Both of my fiance's sisters and my fiance's brother-in-law were at the dinner where her parents talked about the house, so they both heard the whole conversation. My fiance's sister thought I deserved to know. My fiance's brother-in-law comes from a well-off family as well, but I don't know how well off or whether they are on the same level as my fiance's family or just upper middle class. Their wedding was pretty extravagant. My fiance's family is white and American, as is the brother-in-law. I am Pakistani. I don't believe her parents are discriminatory, but it seems like this information was important according to the comments. Anyway, about 3 hours ago, my fiance finally came home. She had stayed at her parents' house because we'd gotten into quite the argument. I was expecting her to continue the argument, but she actually came and apologized straight away. Apparently, her younger sister, 22 female, chewed her out after I left her parents' house. She really laid into my fiance about how she was being inconsiderate because everyone knew how important owning my home was to me. She also said that her parents weren't treating me right or equally. That made my fiance see my side, as she said, but she was too embarrassed, which is why she didn't come home last night. If you can't tell, I'm a huge fan of my fiance's little sister right now. She's always been a sort of no-nonsense firecracker type of girl, while my fiance is a bit of a people pleaser and definitely a daddy's girl, and she's kind of always vying for her father's approval. My fiance has even said she knows she needs to work through that before we get married. I'm going to buy her sister a cupcake. Then showed her the post, and she got pretty uncomfortable reading a lot of the comments.
Oh boy.
Especially the ones saying that she doesn't care about me. She also got really uncomfortable when she read the comments about her parents being discriminatory. I pressed on that a bit, and she went on to mention that they've never been overtly discriminatory, but they did make comments when we first started dating about being concerned about the future. They asked her many times if she was sure about me. Like I said, I don't believe they're discriminatory, but I do understand that they probably have some biases. This was also the case when they said they didn't want to do any traditional Pakistani events for the wedding. Well,
Okay.
American weddings are different from non-American weddings.
Yes.
And so I feel like you could either go all one way or bring some compromise in.
Yeah, I mean, we have two people in this marriage.
Yeah.
Like, it's not
By the
just
way-
this bride.
By the way, there's two.
Yeah. Like, if you're gonna choose from one person's cultural traditions, why? Why
Yeah.
not do both? Like, that's such a common thing, is to just like
Yeah.
either have two weddings or something, or
Mhm.
like bring in different traditions, you know?
Yeah.
So you guys gotta figure something out and take a step away from this relationship. Not like
Yeah.
the parents do, not the two people involved.
Yeah, it's a celebration of two people coming together. It doesn't have to be
Yeah.
anything that you outside of the marriage want.
Right, right.
That was fine for me anyways, so I didn't really care, but now it makes me think a bit. I explained to her how I was feeling like I was going into this as an unequal partner, and she absolutely agreed that it wasn't fair. She even said she was going to tell her parents that she was going to refuse to sign the prenup. I told her to slow down because she was going between extremes. I told her that we still needed to get the prenup because her family was already having difficulty accepting me and this was going to make it worse. However, I told her that under no circumstances was I signing anything her parents had a part in drafting, and that we would each retain our own lawyers outside of the parents' influence and get something that is fair and equitable. She agreed. By the way, you can agree to listen to full episodes with stories just like this. Go to Spotify, Apple Podcast, iHeartRadio, or your favorite podcast app and just search up OK Story Time. And you'll see all little cute faces there. Maybe give you a little kiss or something. But there's a little bit left.
Mm-hmm.
I'm thinking you're on the right track. I say don't get the parents involved.
Yes.
They don't need to be involved in the marriage.
Right.
They're not a part of the marriage at all.
Right.
Yeah, cool. They can, complain all they want, but love is love, and
Yeah.
nobody should have a say in what you want to do with your life besides you.
Yeah, exactly. I think we need to, have a clear communication with our fiance, sit down with her, figure out what you guys want, or
Yeah.
ask her what she wants, like, without her parents' input.
Yeah.
And yeah, definitely keep the parents out of the wedding.
Yeah. Like, I mean, obviously they're invited, they can come, whatever, blah, blah, but they
Sure.
don't need to, be like, oh, well, we got our daughter a lawyer and a house, and you're going to sign this and do this, and you can get a lawyer on your own, that's just, that's
weird.
Yes. There's
Yeah.
definitely something behind that. People don't just do that for no reason.
Yeah.
All right, let's get back into it. We then talked about the house, and she said she was going to tell her parents that she wasn't going to accept unless both of our names were on it. There you go.
Alright.
I told her to slow down again, and I got her to agree to me paying for a quarter of it. My initial proposal was to pay half, but she said that what I said about it being a wedding present, so it should be for both of us, was true. So we came to the agreement that we would each get half ownership of the house, with her parents paying for 75% of it and me using the money I have saved plus a small mortgage for the other 25%. Both of our names will be on the title. We then called her parents together and told them our plan. They grumbled about it a bit initially, especially because her dad was still upset that I had been so ungrateful. But eventually, we were able to talk it through, and they agreed to the plan. The fact that he thinks it's ungrateful that he gave his daughter a present.
Right.
What, you don't like my daughter's present?
Right.
Well, I mean, it's for both of you, but, like, really, it's
Like,
just for
not
my
really.
daughter. Yeah.
Yeah, like before he was literally basically saying that it was just for the daughter, and like, you know, this OP is like basically not involved. He's
Yeah.
like, what do you mean you're ungrateful for a present I didn't give you? What do you mean?
Yeah. It's like, that just makes no sense at all. Like,
Yeah.
oh, he's so ungrateful that I didn't include him.
Right.
Yeah.
Yeah, what is
You're
there
right.
to be grateful for?
Exactly. Yeah, you didn't do anything for me. I doubt that this is the last I hear about this, but at least for now, it seems like the situation is mostly resolved. And that is the end of that story.
Wow.
I think it is mostly resolved. I think both
Yeah.
of you kind of, you came to an agreement, and, your parents can be mad about it, whatever, but they're not in the marriage, so who cares?
Exactly. I really like that the fiance went to her parents, because really she's the one that needs to communicate to them.
Yes.
You know, like OP can only say so much,
Mm-hmm.
but it means so much more for her to say something. So I'm glad she did. I'm glad she was like, no, you got to do this or else I'm not freaking living there.
Yeah.
Parents,
I think you did the right thing, guys.
good job. Good job, everyone involved.
My brother's fiance said her ex-husband passed away, but I found him alive on Instagram.
He's alive!
I, 24 female, don't even know where to start. For as long as I can remember, my brother, 35 male, has been the golden boy, and I have been the screw-up. I am obviously an accident. I had some difficulties in school, and by the time I came around, my parents were peaking in their careers and too busy for me. He was also too old to hang out with me, so I was kind of just there. By the way, this comes from user Eat a Moon Pie. And if you want to submit your own stories, go to the r/showcase storytime subreddit. I'm Dakota.
And I'm Savannah.
I'm Carly.
And we're here to give good advice goofily, guys. We don't have all the answers to life's problems. We only know a little bit. Put what you know in the comments. About 2 years ago, Golden Boy introduced us to his girlfriend, Sarah, 32-ish, female. Not her real name. She is beautiful and tall and tragic. Exactly my brother's type. Sarah said she was previously married, but her husband in his 30s, male, suddenly passed away from a rare heart condition. Basically, he passed away at like 28 or 29. In the aftermath, she left her home state, went no contact with her family and old friends. My brother says they were harmful during of grief. She moved across the country and reinvented herself. This was about 4 years ago. Immediately, I did not like her. She seemed fake. It was just a vibe thing that I could not vocalize, but also did not really matter because my parents loved Sarah. Like the moment they met her, they started including her in family vacations and birthday dinners. And within a few months, my mom was saying things like, I think she's the one for your brother. Sarah has no social media. She has a super unusual last name. And over the past 2 years, I've Googled her from time to time. Some recent stuff comes up, mostly related to her job, but nothing from before her move. Nothing related to her husband comes up at all. Nothing. She is also cagey and weird about him. If you ask anything about what he was like or even his name, she gets teary and then Goldie jumps in. They got engaged a few months ago, so every conversation right now is about wedding planning. Sarah has very few friends, none from her past life, so I'm in the bridal party with some of their mutual friends. We went bridesmaid dress shopping a few weeks ago, and I went to Venmo her payment for my dress. And then I was like, I wonder how far back this goes. Pretty effing far. Most of the payments were between her and my brother, and a hairstylist and a nail artist. But I saw one Venmo from a guy that looked like it was for living expenses. When I Googled him, I found his Instagram, and on his Instagram, I found a wedding photo from 2017. In that wedding photo, he was the groom and Sarah was the bride. And that dude is still alive.
Whoa!
Yeah, like very alive. He posted 3 days ago. He's remarried with kids. I found her siblings, her old maiden name, and her whole old life once I found her ex's account. So I don't know what to do. Part of me is like, maybe the relationship ended badly, and that's why she goes around saying that he passed away. Part of me is like, maybe she's in witness protection, though she is screwed if she is, because I eventually found her. Part of me is like, do I need to tell my brother? Do I tell her? Like, pull her aside and be like, hey, sis, what's up? I screenshotted everything, so I have proof. I just don't know if I should sit on it or tell someone. And we do have some comments here from OP, but yeah, I do think I would bring this up to my brother and be like, hey, so just so you know how your like fiance's like past partner like tragically passed away? He didn't. He's alive. That's a lot. Yeah. Unless it's a Frankenstein type situation.
That'd be cool.
He is most certainly alive and did not ever pass away. Low key, I want credit for figuring it out that she was lying, but it would definitely be messy. And there are some more thoughts here. What if she is a domestic mistreatment victim? He could have stalked her, so she ran and changed her name so he couldn't find her. What do you think you'd look like if your brother already knows this and you're outing a victim? Until you know for sure, you shouldn't assume anything. I think if I was the brother and this happened, I'd be like, hey, well, here's the truth, but thank you for, because optically from your perspective, it's like, yo, she's just like telling you like a deranged lie. Your feelings for your brother and family are skewing your judgment, in my opinion. OP says, that's a good point. I don't like her, but I don't want her to get hurt or put in danger. Plot twist, your brother knows she's not a widow and he's complicit in the lie. God knows mom and dad would be a bit less welcoming of a divorced woman. OP says, I could actually see that. My parents are traditional. I haven't seen any notices or RIP posts from her friends, so I think she just cut them off. It defaults to all of the transactions being public with a description and who you sent money to. Other people can't see how much you sent. You can make everything private, but most people I know have their Venmos public. The Venmo was from like 5 years ago. On the relationship, it's cordial. It's not warm and fuzzy with them, and they're not warm and fuzzy with me. I'm just in the bridal party because it would embarrass my mom if I wasn't. Somebody suggested to look up divorces and criminal history in the court system. That's a good idea. I know what states she's from, so I'll see what's available there. And there's an update 4 days later.
I hope the brother knows and they have a good conversation about it and get to the bottom of this pit.
Just imagine she looks up the criminal history and it's just like fraud, arson, like
Fake
money
marriage.
laundering. Thanks to everyone for their thoughts on my last post. Also, some of you guys are wild and I love that for you. I felt really affirmed by a lot of the comments that 1, I shouldn't involve my parents at all, and 2, she might have a tragic reason for changing everything in her life or be a victim, so I shouldn't approach it like I'm happy to be stirring the pot. I ended up texting Golden Boy to ask if I could call him on Tuesday night. And when I called him, the freak put me on speaker because they were cooking, so I was like, F it. And I just told them everything about the Venmo, the husband's Instagram, etc. I framed it like, I'm nosy and I don't care, but wanted to say something in case Golden Boy didn't know, or you both don't want other people to find this. And Goldie was like, you're an idiot. Of course I know, because their marriage certificate will say that she's been married before. For a moment, I thought we were going to get into a fight, but honestly, Sarah kind of diffused it, and the three of us ended up talking for a few hours about Sarah's background, why she lied, me and Golden Boy's parents, and our relationship. I won't go into everything we talked about, but basically, Sarah grew up religious. I don't want to say too much because I don't want to disparage people in religion, but she said that it's closer to a cult than a real faith. I don't know enough about it to comment. Around 5 or 6 years ago, she started having doubts and eventually left it. Ooh, she had a cult marriage? She had a religious cult marriage?
That was not what I thought
No
was
way.
going to happen.
Dude, she got married and it was like, yeah, you're getting married because you're going to sire the next Messiah. Whoa.
Sire the next Messiah.
Whoa. Unfortunately, in this religion, if you leave, everyone is supposed to avoid you. Amish? So her family and friends stopped talking to her, and the relationship with her husband got really tense. She said she was the only person who could talk to her, but the love was gone. She felt like the church was trying to torment her back into joining, and that made her be like, F it, we ball. Like if every, like, yeah, good one, OP.
You know what? F it, we ball.
F it, we ball, dude. Like, if everyone's going to act like I'm passed away, I might as well start a new life. So she moved away, started dating, divorced her husband, and picked a new last name. She said at first she told people her background, but knowing about her old faith made people judge her and ask a lot of questions she wasn't comfortable with. So eventually, she just started telling people she was a widow because it was easier and it was how she felt. When she first met my brother, that's what she told him. She told him the truth a few months into dating. Golden Boy says they decided together to keep her background from my family for reasons that make a lot of sense considering the type of people my parents are. And by the way, all you people can listen to full episodes with stories just like this on your favorite podcast platforms like iHeartRadio or Spotify or Apple Podcasts. All you gotta do, search OK Storytime.
That worked out.
I'm glad that Sarah and Golden Boy had that convo because then it wasn't real awkward when it came time to like spill.
I need OP to take a chill pill as well.
Yeah, I think OP did not handle this well.
Yeah,
at
that
all.
could have gone way worse.
Yeah. Like, I don't know if it's just like the relationship or something, but like that could have gone like off the rails real quick.
Like you don't want to make a potential revelation like on speakerphone with the person who you are talking about.
That feels like an
Like-
in-person conversation to have.
Like I don't know. Like honestly, I think you could still just talk to your brother
Yeah.
on the phone, and it's just like I'm bringing this up, and he goes, "Yeah, I already know. It's okay. It's a whole thing. We could talk about it later, but it's not. She's not psycho." Ultimately, I am glad I told them. For the first time, maybe ever, I feel like I'm part of something with my brother. It's weird, but kind of nice. One convo won't undo the past 24 years of our relationship, but I feel bad for underestimating him and writing her off. It's not his fault that he's 100,000 years old and that our parents kind of suck. We had a nice Christmas together, and I could tell they both were trying to engage me more than usual. Maybe because they have some respect for me. Maybe because they're scared. But either way, I feel a little seen by them, and I feel like I see them more. Thanks again. Make sure your Venmos are set to private, everybody. And that is the end of that story.
I will always keep mine public. What I have to say is everyone's business.
Yeah,
Mine's
that's why-
private.
I'm sure mine's public. I always try to make every transaction I do as funny as possible.
Same. Mine are so funny.
Like
I want to share that with the world. Everyone deserves to see how funny I am.
We pay our internet bills to Spectrum,
yeah.
and every time I pay for the internet, my tag is on the Spectrum.
My fiance had my deceased brother tattooed, and now I can't even look at her. I really need an explanation for this one. Okay, so for context, my older brother, 30 male, while I'm 29 male, passed away 3 years ago in a motorcycle accident. This messed me up severely, and it still does. He was my best friend, and we had that whole inseparable since we knew each other type of bond. Even if he was older, he was never the stereotypical older brother bully sort, and I loved him for that. By the way, this comes from Audica Michael, and if you want to submit your own stories, go to the r/OK Storytime subreddit. I'm Sophia.
I'm Angie.
And I'm Keon. I'm actually here.
And we're here to give good advice goofily, but we don't have all the answers. We only know what we do, so let us know what you would do in the comments. And OP says, anyway, my fiance, who I'll call Bella, is 28 female. She met him only a few times, but always said she admired our bond since she had no real siblings of her own. Only step, but they aren't close. A few weeks ago, Bella surprised me with a tattoo she got in memory of my brother. It's a pretty big, realistic grayscale tattoo of his face with a little Snoopy icon beside it on her upper arm with his nickname we used and his birth and passing dates underneath. That
Not Snoopy.
is a lot.
That is a lot.
That's a lot.
Yeah.
When I saw this, I was stunned. She said she did it as a tribute to him and to support me because she knows how much I still struggle with grief. I honestly didn't know what to say at first, but the more I sat with it, the more it bothered me. I told her as gently as I could that I appreciated the gesture, but found the tattoo really uncomfortable. It's unsettling to see his face on my fiance's body. It feels like too much, especially since they barely knew each other. She got upset and said I was being weird about a nice gesture and making her regret doing something beautiful, in her words. Now she's distant, and my mom thinks I should just be thankful someone loved my brother enough to memorialize him. But first off, I didn't ask her to do this. And also, she doesn't love the brother.
She doesn't know them.
She doesn't know him that
Yeah.
well. Now I'm stuck with a fiance that won't even talk to me properly, and my brother's perfectly black and gray eyes staring at me when I'm laying beside her. And honestly, I don't even want to think about how horrifying having spicy sleep would be with that on her arm. Am I being unreasonable, a-hole-ish? Is it my right to ask her to get it covered up or removed? I guess I'm adding some additional details because I don't know how to respond individually. My fiance and I both have tattoos, and many of them. I have smaller ones, she has bigger ones. To my knowledge, neither of us are mentally ill in any capacity, and we aren't on medication. I can't believe I have to write this, but here we are. Ever since my reaction, she has been wearing longer sleeve shirts in the daytime. At work, she has to anyway, but she's also doing it at home. It's only during bedtime that I really see it with her wearing tanks, and it physically hurts. Consensus, not the a-hole. Commenters are asking if she could show signs of being bipolar if she takes any medication that could mess with her decision making. And OP says, for info, yes, me and her both have tattoos and plenty of them. And we're both the sort that likes to have tattoos linked to good memories or experiences. Like my latest tattoo, 5 or so months ago, of my childhood dog. Though I'd like to be clear, I got a paw print with her name under it. A paw print, not a whole portrait of her. My fiancé has similar ones that are larger in scale. So her forearm tattoo with my brother's face isn't half odd aesthetically. It's my effing brother. Also, to my knowledge, she's been doing fine and has only been bitter for a few weeks by my reaction. And sigh, that's my mistake for not knowing anatomical terms. Just so it's clear, it's on the upper part of her arm, which I thought was the forearm, because it's the arm attached to the rest of the body. So the first one, forearm, like foremost, I don't know, that's my mistake. Forearm is here.
Yep.
It is the upper arm, though. Also, in case this comes up, I know the anatomical terms for my legs and torso because I have tattoos there. Slightly clueless on the arms, though. So sorry, but thanks for bringing it up. I will probably ask for her to remove it completely, though I'm guessing it'll be a hard conversation, and she'll expect me to pay for it, which I don't necessarily mind, but it sucks anyway. I was initially going to suggest a cover-up, but I read some comments saying it'd be difficult. I'm not sure, but I'll figure it out once we speak about it. Hear me out. Maybe, just maybe, your brother's been in your spotlight for a long time, says one commenter, and she wants to be, but doesn't know how to. So she goes out of her way to impress you, but unfortunately in an inappropriate way. Maybe something along these lines. Moto Dude Cat Dad says, hey man, these have been my thoughts exactly, though I'm ashamed to say it. Oh, I think this is OP responding. I admittedly have been in over my head with grief ever since everything happened, and I feel like she did this to support me, but missed the mark in how she went about it. I don't feel like her actions were mentally ill or ill-natured because I know her, and I know she wouldn't want to hurt me intentionally. So this just might be it. Another person says she's going to have the whole family tattooed on her back. Bro won't be able to do it doggy ever again.
Oh, God.
LOL, laughed at this a little too loudly, says OP, and there is an update.
That's why I was asking, like, where's this tattoo?
Yeah,
oh,
right? It's-
I
boy.
heard back, and I was like,
No.
yo.
It's on her
Uh.
arm. It's on her arm. Do you have any thoughts, though?
So many.
Yeah.
So many thoughts because if he was okay with it, that would be a very nice thing to do. And it does suck from her perspective that, like, she spent so much money on this. She got
Yeah, and also,
tattooed on her
you know,
body.
yeah.
But also, like, that's her mistake to do that.
Should have asked.
Yeah, if you're gonna get a tattoo for another person, you want to either know them better or ask
Yeah,
first.
it's kind of like tattooing your partner's name on your body and then not
Yeah.
telling them beforehand.
Yeah,
And going
because-
and being like, hey, I tattooed my name on my body, your name on my body.
yeah,
I'd be like, what?
like show my devotion. Don't do that.
Don't do that.
Don't do that.
Don't do that.
Yeah, it's just never a good idea to get tattoos for other people in general, but do what
Especially
you want.
without talking.
Yeah.
First.
Yeah, so it sucks that she now has to deal with this and feels like she regrets something
Yeah.
in her eyes that she saw beautiful.
Mm-hmm.
But again, that's a
yeah.
risk you were taking.
Update. After breakfast this morning at around 7:30, it's 10:34 as I write this, by the way. I sat down, already was sitting down after eating, but yes, whatever, with my fiance and spoke about the effing tattoo again. I basically echoed all the comments I'd received, which, by the way, I'm so grateful for the most part, because some of them were crazy. Anyway, I told her again that the tattoo made me very uncomfortable and wasn't the leap she needed to take to comfort or support me on my journey with grief, as I still had a firm belief that she didn't do this in a malicious manner. She was quiet initially and then asked if she could explain herself, and I said I was willing to listen. To summarize, she said she simply got the tattoo because she thought it would symbolize the extent she would go to love me and support me, and said in that way I had both people I loved so much in the same place. Her words, not mine. She did say she was sorry and that she wouldn't have done it if she knew that I wouldn't have liked it. I asked her why she hadn't spoken to me about it prior, and she said it wouldn't have been a surprise then, which is what she wanted it to be. And maybe before we make any body modifications, we just talk to the person.
Yeah, I think that's simply too big of a risk.
Yeah.
You can't make something permanent a surprise.
No,
You just
let's
can't.
not do it. It's like buying, it's like when in those commercials or whatever, when like a dad buys a car
Yeah.
for their the husband buys a car for the wife without talking, and they're like, we can afford this.
Right.
With the
right.
big bow.
Yeah,
Yeah,
And he's like,
exactly.
I bought you a car, and she's like,
We already have a car.
what?
Yeah. Yeah, also never do permanent things or anything drastic to show someone how
Yeah.
devoted you are.
Mm-mm.
That's not we don't want that.
She also said, and I'm remembering this fresh and internally cringing as I write this, lol, that the tattoo was meant to be a symbol of a new beginning because we're going to get married in a couple of months, and she wanted to turn over old leaves.
What
Is she calling your brother an old leaf?
Yeah, what
Just
does
like
that
you just need to
mean?
move on from him now. And this way you can, because he'll be on my body now.
Right, or did you guys have like fights
that.
or something before and she was like, "See, this will make up for everything cuz I'm so devoted to you."
I'm still stuck on what she meant, so I'd appreciate any word sleuths helping me in this. To wrap it up, I said I didn't want to end our relationship over this, and I really wanted to move on from it, but that she needed to either cover it up or laser it off. And she was, to say the least, not very happy about it. Said a cover-up would be complicated and would take too long. Said laser might be painful and looks scary from the videos. Also said she likes how the tattoo looks along with her other ones and asked if I'd be okay with her just covering it up either with clothes or foundation. No.
I just want people to ask
No.
her, hey, who is that? Oh,
Is that your brother?
no, it's my fiance's brother, who
Were
you
I really don't
close?
even know.
No, I didn't really know him that well.
Yeah.
Ay, ay, ay. I was as firm as I could be. Mind you, this is the woman I've loved for 5 years straight, so admittedly I'm soft. But I reiterated that I wanted it gone either by a cover-up or laser. She was quiet then, and that's honestly where the conversation ended. She already left for work at 10, and I'm going to start my own work now as I work remotely from home after I finish this. Anyways, I hope this works out, and I would appreciate any advice. I did read a comment that shamed me for taking this to Reddit instead of speaking with her first, so I will prioritize our communication first, but we'll hopefully keep this updated. Thanks for all the help for now, and there is an update 2 days later.
Oh wow.
Why are we shaming OP?
Any thoughts?
Yeah, I feel
Stop
like
shaming OP.
I feel like that's kind of what Reddit is for. A lot
Shame.
of people are here to sort out their thoughts before they communicate to others sometimes, which
I
is
think
fine.
that's fair.
Yeah.
Or I get a secondary opinion.
Yeah, exactly.
From
Exactly.
from a neutral internet,
Right.
Yeah.
usually.
No, I think stand your ground. I think it's entirely reasonable of you to say, "Hey, I want to cover up or laser it off."
Yeah.
And if she says, "Oh, that's expensive, long, that's going to hurt," then you say, "Well, next time, let's not make any big body modifications or anything
Right.
big that's permanent without, that's for me without asking me."
Yeah. Yeah, exactly. I mean, maybe be patient, I guess, if you
Mhm.
can with that. Like if she's covering it up for now with like shirts and stuff,
Yeah.
then that's cool. But yeah, I feel like I don't know. I get the anger and frustration with it, but maybe try to not say it in an angry way. I wonder
if you
what
can.
difference that would make.
Update 2. It's final. I've broken up with her. It made no difference, I guess.
Well,
That's it. I don't even know why I'm writing this other than to get some closure on this situation and maybe some support. I read so many comments this morning, and while it didn't go the way I or anyone anticipated, I've taken my decision, though I'm struggling to accept it myself. Last night, when Bella came home from work, I made sure to make dinner and asked if we could talk after dinner in the back garden. She said that was okay, but that she needed time to shower and unwind before dinner, so she'd be a bit late, but that I could start eating. I agreed, and she went upstairs while I ate the dinner I'd made with the TV on in the back. She came down about an hour later while I was winding things up and washing the dishes from earlier, and I'd offered to get her a hot plate, and she agreed, saying she'd eat it on the couch in our living room, rather than the kitchen where we have a dining table, also where I eat. I said that was fine, and I brought it over to her, and as I gave it to her while she was sitting, her hand out to take it, I somehow managed to drop it, and the hot spag bowl went all over her.
Oh no.
I immediately apologized profusely and went to grab her some water and tissues and towels, but she just started screaming at me. I don't want to make myself sound like a victim in this, so I want to be careful with how I write this. But yes, she started saying that I did it on purpose and that I was punishing her for our conversation that morning and for the tattoo in general. I immediately defended myself, and as I brought over a damp towel and some tissues and said I knew I had a steady grip on the plate, so there was no way I'd done that on purpose, also saying that I always spoke respectfully and calmly to her about the tattoo situation and that I'd never escalate things like this. Things beyond are a blur, but we had a big fight. And she broke many, and I mean many, of our glasses and plates.
Oh, wow.
Even trying to pull off a cabinet door in our kitchen that was already not in good condition. What?
Whoa.
Okay, well, that's a huge red flag, and you need to go.
Yeah.
By the end of it, I said I couldn't be with her anymore and that this was the last straw, and left for my parents' house. And by the way, you can leave with us and listen to full episodes of stories just like this. Just go to Spotify, Apple Podcasts, or iHeartRadio and search up OK Storytime. But there is a little bit left in the story. Any final thoughts? Wow.
Wow.
I guess someone dropped the plate here.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Freaking drop the ball, man.
Oh my gosh.
Wow.
I was thinking at first, like, when he first said, yeah, I broke up with her, I was like, see, this is why we don't do things that are like that for other people, because you don't know what's going to happen, and things sure do happen.
But it wasn't even that. It was, it was that she first took his words of being like, hey, I'm a little uncomfortable by this.
Yeah.
You know, do you mind doing and instead made this like, he hates me, he's attacking me, blah, blah,
Right.
blah. And then everything that he did after that was going to be a further attack.
Yeah, and then she responded by breaking things and ripping doors off.
Terrifying.
Terrifying. That is so not someone that you want to be around. That's not someone that
No.
you are safe around. So this is kind of like, okay, well, you get to deal
Now we
with
know.
the consequences of having my brother on your arm.
Yeah.
Now you have to explain that to your future partners.
Yeah,
and
you have to explain why you have your ex's brother on your arm.
And explain why I'm an ex now.
Mhm.
And totally screw yourself over.
Good luck.
Yikes.
But to finish, OP says, I haven't returned and I haven't picked up any of her calls or messages. And I'm honestly afraid of what she'll do to my belongings if she so easily broke so much of the crap we brought together. I'm still at my parents' house and I haven't told them either, but I think this is it. This may be the last update because I don't know if I can focus on this when I have everything else I need to resolve. I have spoken to my family about it, and they asked me to try to have a final conversation to remedy this, and I rejected it. We'll be bringing my things back either tonight or tomorrow, depending on when she gets back from work, and we'll bring a friend with me. I'm more at peace with my decision now, so thank you for all the help. And that's the end of that story.
Oh my gosh.
Good luck, OP. At least you're out of that relationship, I suppose.
Yeah.
Yeah.
That is so wild.
Dang, dang, dang.
Oh my gosh.
Boy,
Yeah.
oh boy. My future mother-in-law wanted to walk my groom down the aisle.
That's not how it goes.
Evan, 31 male, and I, 28 female, are getting married in 5 weeks. And a disagreement with my future mother-in-law has turned wedding planning into an ideological debate.
What?
Uh-oh. She is a lifelong feminist and a single mother who raised Evan entirely on her own. She believes that because fathers traditionally give away daughters, she should be able to give her son away as an equal feminist gesture.
Hey, I like it. I kind of like this.
Well, maybe as a feminist, you should also recognize that OP wants to decide how her and her fiance's wedding is going to go.
Wrong. She did this. She gets to pick. It's her day. Don't you know this is her day too?
You're right. What was I thinking?
Gosh.
By the way, this comes from Opinion Bride, and if you want to spin your own stories, go to the r/OK Storytime subreddit. I'm Sophia.
I'm Riley.
And we're here to give good advice goofily, but we don't have all the answers. We only know what we'd do. So let us know what you would do in the comments. And Opie says, her plan is to walk my fiance down the aisle while I stand at the altar. Yeah, I'm supposed to watch him walk down the aisle. gave a short speech about raising him, present him with a ring, and then place his hand into mine before the ceremony begins. Huh? It's
you know-
totally fine if this was her wedding and she wanted to do this.
No, this is gonna have to happen.
Oh, no.
You're misogynist. How dare you?
I'm a misogynist.
Let her do this.
I guess I have to.
You have to.
I guess I
or
gotta.
else you're going against the whole force.
I hate women. That's what this means if you don't do this, OP. I'm just kidding. This is crazy.
No, it's what needs to happen.
Break that glass ceiling. I understand the argument intellectually. In fact, one of the main reasons that I fell in love with Evan is for his ability to never diminish me, to listen to my opinion, and to treat me as an intellectual equal. But I always assumed that I would walk down the aisle to him. I've always seen this as a romantic thing and a given. She says my father can still walk me down the aisle first, just as usual, but I would be walking to a lonely efficient. When I said
What?
no.
What?
Yeah, so OP would go first with her dad and then just be waiting there for her husband to walk down the aisle. with
She's
his
just
mom.
reversing this thing.
Yeah. Honestly, why doesn't she just go first? You know? Like she could still walk
The
groom
bride?
No, like the mom could still walk the groom
That's
down
what I
the
thought
aisle.
was actually happening.
Yeah, that makes so much more sense.
And then you open it up, being like, yo, it's time to play now. Here we go.
Yeah.
Set the scene.
That would be lovely.
But
I
now-
feel like that's totally more reasonable.
But so she now wants the bride to wait?
Yeah, at the altar.
Girlfriend.
When I said no, she accused me of being not a feminist and then anti-feminist. My fiance understands both sides.
Dude, you need to support your girls. This is not supporting your girls.
Yeah, he literally said, I support both of you very intelligent
Oh,
women.
No. Oh no.
He's trapped
no.
in feminist
Sophia, no.
circle.
No, he needs to not be a mama's boy. This is what it
Yeah.
is.
He's just trying to be too much of a feminist. He can't decide.
He's 6'3", by the way.
Dude,
Dude.
blue eyes.
This is a make or break. This is honestly the best
Yeah.
test
Yeah.
he could have, or you could have, OP.
Is he going to support you in this decision about your guys' wedding? He thinks it is reasonable and that things in the world have changed. His family thinks I'm overreacting. I'm not canceling the wedding. I'm only refusing this specific request. So am I the a-hole? And we've got some comments.
Yes, you are. You need to be up for experimentation during your wedding.
Yeah.
What are you thinking,
Yeah,
OP?
during your own wedding, you gotta change it up a little bit. No. OP, this is your wedding, and your husband should be on your side. And if he came to you and said, hey, I really would love to honor my mom in some way during this ceremony, could we do that? Yeah, maybe we could find a role, and maybe that is walking him down the aisle first.
Yeah, we could squeeze you in here.
They're in there. Maybe she could be the flower mom.
Yo, but with these requests, they come at a price. Okay, we can do whatever you want. I'll walk down by myself. How much of the wedding you paying for?
Yeah, mom.
Because traditionally, it should be the bride's family. But if we're going to be mismatching
Yeah.
expectations with genders,
You can pay for everything.
yeah, then you could do whatever. You could sponsor it. It really comes down to who's sponsoring this wedding.
True. Ardentelian says, at my nephew's wedding, he walked in with his parents. Then the bride walked in with her parents. The parents sat down. The couple joined each other in front of the officiant. The best man and maid of honor had the rings. This worked fine. No one made weird speeches, and it was the couple's decision to do it this way. And that is the point. It would be totally cool, fine, and dandy if it were OP and her husband's decision, but it's not.
Yep.
It is the mom's.
Yep. Mom, you know, if you're with someone, break up with them, or I don't know, get divorced, then get remarried and do it the way you want.
You can do whatever you want.
What do they call the marriages that like they reconform after a number of years?
I don't know.
What is that called?
Like when you vow renewal?
Yeah. Wait, do all couples do that, or whenever they go through a patchy spot in their life?
No, it doesn't have to be for a patchy spot. It can just be like, I love you a lot and I want to, celebrate that.
I should do that one with my girlfriend.
Well, you haven't had any vows yet, so it'd be just a vow.
I vowed to always love her.
Aw, that's very sweet. Jester in Ancient Court says, I'm Jewish, and this is customary for both the groom and bride to be walked down the aisle by their parents. Y'all, this isn't the point. You guys are zooming over the point. Capital Sarah says yes, but not customary for the bride to go first or the mother-in-law to make a speech. We had the parents stay under the chuppah? I don't know how to pronounce that.
Whoompa!
With us, though, and old school Orthodox style was actually very nice for the family coming together. OP just has a regular, old, self-absorbed mother-in-law on her hands. Valiandra says, why can't you walk him down the aisle first? Then you walk with your dad, not the a-hole. Independent-minded gal says, that's nice, but no speech from mother-in-law during the ceremony. Fathers don't do that, neither should she. Useless Education says, yeah, this is where it jumped the shark for me. There's already a designated time when she can give her speech, at the toast, with everyone else. This has main character syndrome written all over it. And we've got an update.
What was the
One
name
day later.
we had for mother-in-laws?
Monsters-in-law?
Yes. This isn't your day, sweetie.
It's not your day. It's not your day. If, again, all of the people in the comments who are saying, well, you know, like this is common in some areas, it's not the point. Not the point.
Not the point.
It's about what OP and her husband want, and her husband's just going with what his mom wants.
That's the real point there.
Mhm.
What's the husband gonna do?
Mhm.
I'd
What's
be
he
like
gonna
so
do?
thankful. Thank you for this test. Husband, what will you do?
Will you support me or will you support my mother?
This will
your mother?
determine our fate forever.
Forever and ever.
Right?
Mm-hmm.
Oh, don't you wish you had a test? You should probably have a test like this. Whenever
I
you're
don't think I'm
going
going to test my partner.
Yeah, I mean, like, this
we
isn't.
learned that
OP
that's
didn't
never
test
good.
her.
Exactly. It has to come up naturally.
But wouldn't you like a natural test? Just to be sure?
I am sure.
I know, but like double for certain. Sure.
Double for certain.
Right now you're certain, but imagine being double for certain.
Well, we'll see when it gets there.
But would you like it or not?
I don't know. Would
You
you
could-
like it?
Yeah,
Okay, well, there you go. That's your answer.
that's my answer. I want to know your answer.
And I want to know what happens in this update.
Oh, Sophia,
One day later.
double confirmed or no?
Who's to say?
She's gonna get one. This is your own flyer. You could have
Oh,
just said
no.
yes.
Hi, everyone. I wanted to come back and respond after taking some time to read the comments and really think things through. I shared the post with Evan, and he was amazed at all the responses. First, this is actually happening to me, or I should say us. This is not hypothetical or exaggerated, and it's honestly nothing I ever imagined would be happening while planning a wedding. I've been pretty flabbergasted by her asks, even though I understand where they're coming from emotionally. For some added context, my future mother-in-law is a very successful doctor and has contributed a significant amount of money towards the wedding. And there it is. There it is. She paid for a lot, so she wants to also control everything. There's no such thing as a free lunch, folks. Because of that, she feels strongly that she deserves a special moment during the ceremony. I think the strings attached has made this more complicated than it otherwise would be.
Okay, strings
Yeah.
attached. Let's
Yeah.
do the first option that we thought of. She sets the setting.
Yeah. What?
Hear me out. Hear me out. Hear me out. Hear me out.
Okay.
Like you said earlier, because usually the whole thing is like ladies first,
Mhm.
but now in this moment it's men 1st,
Mhm.
man first.
Yeah.
Man and mother walk down the aisle together,
Perfect. Lovely.
and then you set the scene. You make it happen. You set the tone, mother Zilla,
Mm-hmm.
and then from there, OP can do what she would like because this is also her day.
Yeah.
It's that or nothing.
I think that's a good compromise. She gets to walk her son down the aisle, but she
Mhm.
does it first.
Yes.
Mm-hmm. And but you could even arrange it in a way like you say, like, oh, mom, mom-in-law, I really wanted to show my appreciation for everything you're doing for the wedding. So I'd love if like you came out first to really
Yeah.
shine.
Oh my gosh, it's perfect because I feel like people don't respond really well. Like, you cannot do this.
Yeah.
And rather, you're like, you can do this.
I would love for you to do that. Yeah, like really, really phrase it in a way.
Holy
This is genius.
Oh my gosh.
She'll never see it coming.
Hire us as mediators,
You're
guys.
so good.
Please write it in a style of a Reddit story,
Mhm.
and we'll come and we'll fix it for you.
Yeah, any problem you have, we're on the case.
Yes, easily.
Throughout all of this, I've made a conscious effort to stay calm and collected. I pride myself on being empathetic and understanding while still being firm in my own boundaries. I explained to Evan that I have always imagined walking down the aisle and seeing his first reaction to me. The look on his face and the emotion in that moment. I think a lot of women can relate to that. He immediately understood and validated that feeling. He also shared something important with me, which is that he has never really been in a position to disagree with his mother on something this meaningful, especially given how much he is contributing. That helped me see that this wasn't just awkward for me, but genuinely difficult for him as well. He agreed that a speech was not something we wanted and was fine at the reception, Lord help me. So we decided to approach this as a unit instead of leaving him to navigate it alone.
Don't let it be the middleman.
No.
I have been the middleman before between my mother and my other partner. It's not a fun time in my life. My ex, not my other partner. My ex. I do not have another partner, Angie.
Me and my 3 partners. Thanks to some helpful advice given in the comments. Together, we explained that a speech was not what we wanted during the ceremony and that a ring wouldn't work in the long run, since he will already be wearing his wedding ring and doesn't expect to wear additional rings after the wedding. Instead, we suggested a watch that he could wear for the ceremony and enjoy after. Evan loved this idea. He had one in mind he wanted. He also proposed that they make a day of it together beforehand, just the 2 of them, to choose the watch and spend time together. That part felt meaningful without overlapping into the ceremony itself. The compromise we landed on is that she can walk him down the aisle, they can share a kiss, and then she can be seated in the first row. Instead of asking, "Who gives this woman?" the officiant will ask, "Who lovingly raised this woman and this man?" And both of our parents will stand and answer, which she agreed is fair. Look at that! Look at that! You worded it in a way that she loves. You made her feel like she's a part of something, and that's great.
And since she's probably been writing so much feminine literature, she really appreciates the way words are arranged. And you did that correctly.
Congratulations.
Oh my, dude, she's gonna love you forever.
She's like, this is a woman who stands up.
Yeah.
Her what she wants.
And all of this woman's probably been writing about is like all these things that were like unfair.
She just wanted to test you.
Yeah.
That's at the end of the day.
Oh my gosh.
She was testing your.
She's a doctor.
Uh-huh.
Mother-in-law doctor.
Yes.
Mother and doctor.
Mother? What? I don't understand what that revelation was.
Well, the mother-in-law was a doctor.
Oh, like the mother was a doctor.
And she used her doctorate degree against you to test you.
Yes.
It was a doctor test.
We are hoping and praying she sticks to these boundaries. I'll admit I'm still a little nervous about a speech she might try to add. But for now, we feel okay with where things landed. She'll be wearing a powder blue outfit, which I'm completely fine with. Oh, she's just something blue. And thankfully not white. We also decided to have a non-traditional officiant and a female justice of the peace, which feels very fitting for us. By the way, you guys would fit in if you listen to full episodes with stories just like this. Just go to Spotify, Apple Podcasts, or iHeartRadio and search up OK Storytime. There's a little bit left. That was a great ending.
Yay.
There's a little bit left, but you sorted that out so well.
Oh my gosh, dude, I could not be proud of you. God,
You could not be proud of them?
I could not be more proud of them.
Oh, be more proud. Okay. I couldn't be proud of you. I tried, but I just couldn't.
That's so good.
Yeah. That is so good.
One thing I did note.
Yeah.
What did husband do?
I don't know. It seems like they found that. They walked that.
He walked it as a unit, but I did not hear or see a clear statement of, I am supporting you.
Yeah, that's
It was just
true.
more of a go with the flow.
Mm-hmm.
That's what he
He's a
did.
go with the flow kind of guy.
He's like, what can I do that mitigates the least amount of conflict?
Well, that's, what everyone's always looking for.
Yes, but especially him though.
Yeah. But there's a little bit left. Surprisingly, she was agreeable to all of this and ultimately decided on the watch. Evan and I are extremely relieved and feel ready to continue planning our special day. I'm so excited. OP says children are the number one priority. She doesn't know it yet, but she has met her match. I will do everything in my power to keep the love of my life and give my children a sane upbringing going forward. So she's got to keep putting up those boundaries.
Got to.
And I love that.
Oh, man. Oh, dude, this is just one of many tests.
Yeah. The tests never stop. It's called exam season.
And you said praying and you said the Lord earlier, so I'm assuming you're Christian.
Mm-hmm.
Oh, man, I'm just thinking of like, if you go to a church, XYZ happens whenever you have a kid. It's like a baby inauguration or whatever. I don't know. I forget.
Yeah,
It's
she's
been
gonna
so
want-
long since that happened to me.
Yeah.
But she might fight. She's probably going to fight you on everything you decide to do as a parent.
But it seems like so far you've done a good job at kind of sidestepping. So let's just keep sidestepping.
So OP A+.
Yeah.
Husband,
Like a B. I think like a B.
B minus, C,
Sure.
C plus.
I wouldn't give him a C plus. I'd give him a B minus.
I'd be so scared getting married to this guy.
I think he'll figure it out.
I freaking hope so.
I think we just keep having conversations.
This is one of many tests. I don't know if
Yeah.
he's going to last, though.
Yeah, I think we have a conversation about, like, are you going to support me if you ever fully disagree with your mom?
Yeah, because she's going to be laying it on thick.
But that is the end of that story, and we've got another one coming right up.
My fiance kept insisting that I'm pregnant when I'm really not.
I'm not. I swear, I'm not.
Okay, so I, 22 female, recently got engaged to my fiance, 23 male. We are both still living at home to save money to eventually get our own place. I still live with my parents, but I stay at his place most nights because it's closer to work and just easier. By the way, this comes from user other suggestion 1609. If you want to submit your own stories, go to the r/OK Storytime subreddit. I'm Dakota.
I'm Angie.
I'm Sophia.
And we're here to give good advice goofily. We're going to yap a little bit about this story, but we are not experts, so take everything with a grain of salt and let us know what you have to say in the comments. And OP says, so this New Year's Eve, we were at his parents' house with family and a few friends. Nothing crazy, just a normal family get-together. His aunt was passing out champagne to everyone and asked me if I wanted some, but before I could even respond, my fiance reached out and he took the glass. I kind of thought it was weird, but I just ignored it because he can be oblivious sometimes. I ended up just going to the kitchen and pouring myself a drink. When I got back to the living room, he immediately noticed my drink and asked pretty loudly, "Is that champagne?"
The scandal.
He started getting really upset. He said he couldn't believe I would do that. He thought I was more responsible and that I was being reckless.
You know that should have orange juice in it.
How dare you?
How dare you pass up the opportunity for good mimosa? I was obviously confused and asked him what he was talking about. He said something like, "You're really gonna mess things up before they even start? You're going to hurt the baby."
That is a crazy thing to say in front of other people.
It's crazy. It's crazy to say that in a room full of family to someone not pregnant at all.
Yeah. You're gonna sit here. You're gonna tell me that I'm pregnant. Who have you already told that I'm pregnant?
Maybe he's actually just really good at being sneaky. Picture this, painting the scene, middle of the night, OP, groggily, gets up to go to the bathroom. Gotta do a little tinkle. He is wearing all black,
Okay.
follows her
Yep.
into the room. She doesn't turn the light on in the bathroom, I guess, for the point of this story.
She don't need it.
And he sneakily snakes, he has a little tool to get the pregnancy test into the toilet and sneaks a little pee-pee
Yeah.
on, and then now has the pregnancy test he knows.
So yeah, that would be the sneakiest way that he would know. Not everyone knows. My actual guess is that he told someone else that they're having a baby, and that person is at this party and is gonna see her drinking. Now has no time to explain her what goof he is goofed, and has to just, put on. Now he's turning it around on OP being the bad guy for having champagne with a baby.
Yeah, come on. What, we
That's
don't
my
want
guess.
the baby to be cool and sophisticated?
I guess not. No brunches for this baby.
Anyway, the room went quiet, and I was so embarrassed. I was thinking he must have had a few too many or something. I asked him, "What baby?" He said he knew I was pregnant and that he'd been trying to do the right thing. He said he found a pregnancy test in the bathroom weeks ago, and that's why he's been watching what I eat and drink, and why he proposed. Whoa!
Whoa!
Ew!
You don't even love me? You don't even want to marry me for me? You want to marry for my baby?
This is just
Damn.
like that plot line in Friends. Remember?
No, I don't remember.
Like when everyone thinks that Rachel is pregnant and when they think that Phoebe is pregnant and they all
Yes.
propose, but it's actually Rachel.
Yes.
How do you even know that? You were like 3 years old when that show came out.
Yeah, I was really into it as a kid.
Yeah, I know exactly what you're talking about. We watched it in middle school.
Imagine finding out. I wonder if he's lying or if he's just so dumb that he can't read a pregnancy test right. That it's like so obviously like
Yeah,
one line,
actually a COVID
no,
test.
2 line, yes.
you're right. He's like, well, I peed on it and got no lines, so what then?
This is OP. OP's
OP's baby?
fiance.
Is that
That's the fiance. That's what the baby
is
will
that
be.
David? Is that David Goggins?
I don't think
Who
so.
was that?
I don't know. It's just I just looked up man wearing all black.
All right.
It would have been a better joke had I done it when you were talking.
That was a greedy one. You were greedy with that one. Okay. He said he was step up to the streets. Then he said he didn't know if he had made a mistake, if this was the kind of mother I was going to be. I was literally so shocked and humiliated. I told him I'm not pregnant, but he just told me I didn't need to lie. I am not pregnant. She is not pregnant.
Oh, yeah, no.
I'm not pregnant. She's not pregnant.
And
No
OP,
one in this room is pregnant.
including OP, who
OP's
is in
not
this room
pregnant.
on this phone.
He's not pregnant.
He's not pregnant either.
You can get me pregnant. No, I'm just kidding. That doesn't work like that. Oh! 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 Auga. I would marry that man.
Dakota is now pregnant. No one else in the room yet.
Whatever he wants. I ended up leaving and coming to my parents' house that night. I haven't been to his place since. He keeps trying to reach out to me to talk about it, but I'm not ready. And that brings us to last night. My fiance's mom messaged me and asked me to come over and talk. She says relationships take effort, and I shouldn't ruin my relationship over a little misunderstanding. What? I'd say that just marrying me because you found a pregnancy test that may or may not exist in my bathroom, that certainly isn't a little miscommunication.
Yeah, definitely not. Especially how everything unfolded. Because he not only was just like, wait, are you not pregnant? He started revealing all of these, like, truths that he had secret in his mind.
Yeah.
You know?
Yeah, and it's like just marrying someone because you think you got them pregnant, that couldn't possibly lead to a bitter marriage full of resentment and
Yeah.
misunderstandings.
Like, the fact that he then tried to turn it around on you and was like, well, I was doing the right thing from, like, lying about my real reasons of wanting to be engaged with you.
Yeah.
And now you're being the bad guy because you're drinking while pregnant. How dare you? Everyone, how dare she? Everyone
How
point.
dare-
Off.
Bald!
Bald.
Oh.
Tight. Pants.
Okay. I don't know what to do. I love my fiance, but I can't stop thinking, if he never thought I was pregnant, would he even have proposed to me? Literally no, because he said so.
Yeah.
I'm really rethinking the whole relationship. Am I the a-hole? No.
No.
This is weird.
Yeah.
So we found that, said absolutely nothing about it.
Yeah.
Then proposed to you, and in a room full of his entire family, then outed your non-existent pregnancy and also made you look like someone who would, drink while pregnant.
If you were pregnant and he found the test, why would he not say anything to you? Was he just waiting for you to tell him? And was that some other like test that he was waiting for?
Every single aspect of his reasoning and process after finding that test or whatever,
Yeah.
it's all a giant red flag. That's him.
Yes, it is.
Except, no, that's not. He's that almost looks like surprised. He should be more like this.
Yeah.
What about this one?
Yeah, there you go. So now he's thinking, well, now I've got to propose. Uh-oh. There.
So,
Positive pregnancy.
That actually, I believe that was him. Yeah, that was him.
All those question marks are, when should I propose? How should I propose? Why did she not tell me this? How should I never bring this up to her again
Yeah.
until baby is here?
Oh, lordy, lordy, lordy. Oh,
Truly,
lordy,
what was
oh,
his
lordy,
plan?
lordy. All right, let's see how this doofus did this. Okay, there's an update an hour later. So, a bunch of comments are asking about the pregnancy test my fiance found. I don't know why I didn't even question that when he said it. I think I was just in shock. I've never taken a pregnancy test at his house, so I don't know if he saw something and thought it was a test or if he's being crazy and making it up. I just messaged his mom back, and I'm going to go over there to talk and figure out what I want to do. I do really like his family, and I still love my fiance or boyfriend. I don't know what to call him now. He's never really done things to make me worry before, so I want to at least listen before I throw everything away. And there's another update. 2 days later. Yesterday, I went over to my boyfriend's house, and it did not go as expected.
Oh boy.
I honestly don't even know what I was expecting, but after reading some of your comments about whose test it was, or if it even was a pregnancy test, I had to find out. What other
That's right. Wait.
could it? Oh.
You saw
Oh.
a vid test?
Yeah.
How do you not know what that looks like? Come on, doggy.
I mean, they're
Come
they're
on.
22 and 23.
The vid test does look a lot like an ovulation test, though. And I know this because for my sketch show, Savannah bought an ovulation test because they were out of pregnancy tests and we needed
Interesting.
one for the show.
And someone was like, "Oh, great, I have the vid," and really, it's just like they're
You're
just
just
ovulating.
I thought you were going to be like, for our sketch show, we wanted to all sync up our cycles.
No, that's for this one.
My boyfriend was really happy to see me when I got there. I don't think his mom told him I was coming. He seemed really genuine and kept apologizing. His mom asked us to sit down, and she started crying and saying she doesn't want to ruin our relationship, and she loves both of us and wants the best for us. And then she shows us a sonogram.
What?
It was his mom's test.
What? Mama pregnant!
Pregnant mother. Pregnant mother.
You can't see, but this worm was also very shocked.
Oh.
Pregnant mom!
Will. That's why he's so upright. He's shocked. Okay. Literally all of this stupid drama because my boyfriend is an idiot. He said he didn't think his mom could get pregnant anymore because she's in her 40s. So the only other possibility was for it to be mine. But he didn't want to ask me, so I could tell him myself.
Why?
What a stupid little guy.
Why don't you want to ask your girlfriend if she's pregnant? You're just gonna get engaged to her instead?
Yeah.
Why?
He's just going to assume and double down, and it's going to be fine. Classic. A classic cool guy move right there. He didn't want to harsh the mellow, you know? I do love surprising people, so honestly, that does make sense. But it had been weeks. He could have said something after all that time. His mom said she didn't say anything at the party because she didn't know what she was going to do yet and didn't want everyone at the party finding out. But it still bothers me that she let me take the embarrassment instead. Or at least tell us after in private instead of letting us not talk for over a week. Yeah, that's crazy.
Yeah.
Bad mom. Bad pregnant mom. I do kind of feel bad now that my boyfriend really thought I was pregnant and thought I wasn't taking it seriously. I talked to him about the engagement and if he meant what he said about stepping up. He said he had already had the ring for a while, but was waiting for the right time. And when he saw the test, he thought of it as a sign and got excited, thinking of us as a little family. He says he only said what he said at the party in the heat of the moment, thinking I was someone who would risk the baby like that. And he didn't actually mean it. And by the way, I mean it when I say you can listen to full episodes with stories just like this on your favorite podcast platforms. Just search Showcase Storytime wherever you listen to podcasts. iHeartRadio, Spotify, Apple Podcasts. I don't care. Search it. Listen. We've got a little bit more story here.
That's a classic cool guy move right there.
Classic cool guy, taking it easy breezy, not even worried. Is that George Soros or Santos?
It looks like I can see
It's
that.
a classic cool guy.
Classic cool guy.
Classic cool guy. Yeah, I like
Yeah.
that he had the ring already. Cool. So it's not just that he thought you were pregnant and was like, I guess I have to now.
That is nice.
So that's nice.
This worm still is face palming. If you can see, and the worm and I shared emotions on this.
Yes, that's
We're
a
both
nice.
doing that.
I've never seen the worm like that. I like that.
Because come on, what are you doing? I mean, yes, that is great that he already had the ring, so he, this wasn't the only reason he wanted to propose. That's nice. But I mean, really? You don't want to communicate, you want her to tell you. You get engaged without talking about that. And then we think, no, my thoughts, they're leaving my brain. No, the most important thing about my thought is out of my brain now. I don't know. It's the explosion at the party of being like, hey, so now I don't even think I want to be engaged if you're gonna be a bad mom like this. It's like, okay, whoa. We really just jumped through a lot there to insult your fiance.
Worst possible moment to stop hiding that you saw a pregnancy test.
Yeah, literally. So you really got to work on a lot of your communication. And maybe, honestly, if you think that women can't get pregnant in their 40s, I think maybe you should, research some before I have a baby with you. Can you imagine having a baby with a man who thinks that women can't get pregnant in their 40s? What else don't they know? They're not, how's he gonna know anything?
I mean, it's less likely, but
For sure. It just feels like
Just don't hide that. You find the pregnancy test and you go, hey, I found this.
I found it.
Pregnant, are you? Hello?
We just need some time.
We got a little bit more story here. I think I believe him. As of now, we aren't engaged anymore, but we are still together. I told him we really need to work harder on communication if we want to make our relationship last. A lot of comments were saying he's a red flag and stuff, and I can see where you're coming from, but this was really the only time he's been like that. I think his intentions were sweet, but came off wrong. Also, a lot of people saying we are too young to get married, but my parents got married young and are still together, so I think it depends. If we do get engaged again, I told him to actually wait until he's ready, and not when he thinks he needs to. Yeah, everyone's saying that they need to run from this man and his family, but OP's got some comments here. I have been with my partner since I was 19, and this is really the only problem we've ever had other than small, random, dumb things. I don't want to throw everything away over this, and yeah, we are still young and have learning to do together. We've been together since I was 19. I feel like he had so much time to have shown me his true colors. I feel a bit like sad for him in a way because his dad wasn't much in his life, so I think when he thought I was pregnant, he really wanted to do the right thing. We're going to get an apartment together. I don't think we will get engaged anytime soon. I want to make sure we can live together first, especially after reading all the comments I'm getting. I think I always forget how young we still are because I went straight to working after high school and didn't do university. Also, we've been together since we were 19. And that is the end of that story.
Yeah, I
Yeah.
mean, people have different
Yeah.
expectations for ages and getting married.
I just think, that's, if there's one thing that's going to make someone go a little, whoa, it might be finding a pregnancy test and not knowing what to do. He should, now he knows. Now he knows not to just marry you because you're theoretically pregnant.
Yeah, that's good that didn't come out in the wash there.
Yar.
That's good.
But that was the end of that story. And
Oh,
I
yeah,
will be
okay.
going and I will be coming back.
Oh.
But
good
for now, I
soul.
must depart.
All right.
I refuse to pay for my fiance's best friend because I don't like him.
Then get rid of him.
I know how it sounds. My fiance, 29 male, is an amazing guy. He's sweet, funny, attractive, and hardworking. I, 29 female, was impressed with him from the moment I met him, and we've been together 6 years. We are devoted to each other and working towards building our shared life. By the way, this comes from user throwaway_red2blue, and if you want to submit your own stories, go to the r/OKStorytime subreddit. I'm Dakota.
I'm Sophia.
I'm Carly.
And we're here to give good advice goofily, but we don't have all the answers. I fill in C on every multiple choice test I take. So just, if you know what you would do, let us know what it is in the comments. And OP says, we each put a percentage of our earnings into 2 funds. One for our wedding, which is a year away, and another for a down payment on a home. We each pay the same percentage, but I pay a much larger amount because I went into a higher income field. We've budgeted it out pretty well. At this rate, we'll have enough to buy a home around the same time as our wedding, as planned. As to the wedding, we both wanted a small one, and my fiancé and I decided to have a destination wedding.
Ooh.
We are paying for the entire wedding ourselves.
Cool.
My family's pretty poor, so I've also been saving a portion of my remaining paycheck to be able to pay for all of them to come to the wedding for free. I'm also paying for one of my bridesmaids who went into teaching and doesn't make much. My fiancé wouldn't really have the disposable cash to do that, but his family can afford to pay and is somewhat wealthy and is happy for the vacation. The problem arose last week. My fiancé's best friend Tom, 30 male, who he asked to be his best man, got in an accident.
Oh no.
It was likely entirely his fault, as he was riding his motorcycle while wasted.
Tisk tisk.
All right, well, my empathy levels are going down. He suffered significant injuries and is going to have some major medical bills, and admitted to my fiancé he doesn't think he can afford to come.
Also should get help in terms of that, because driving while under the influence to that level is doesn't seem like you're in a good place.
My fiancé wants to pay for him, which would be several $1,000s, and lend him money to help cover his medical bills. But especially with everything going on, my fiancé does not have and is unlikely to be able to get the money to do either. I could afford to do both, but I don't want to. Truthfully, I can't stand this friend. He often rides or drives wasted and does not have a job and makes snarky comments about my fiancé that he insists are just jokes, but that I know actually affect my fiancé, and lives in his parents' basement while ignoring their well-being.
Sounds like a bad guy. Sounds like that guy kind of sucks.
I was willing to have him up there as best man because my fiancé considers him a brother and it's his choice.
I mean, sounds like a bad brother.
I wasn't happy about it, but I wasn't about to throw a tantrum about it. But with everything going on, my fiancé has suggested taking a huge chunk of our savings for a house to help. And I said, no. We got in a huge fight, and he called me selfish and cruel. At which point, I lost it, told him his loser friend did this to himself, and that there was no way in the world I'd pay anything for his sorry self. I ended by saying, if he can't afford to come, he can't be your best man. He hasn't spoken to me since last night and slept on the couch. While I still think I'm on solid footing, I wonder if I went too far. Am I the a-hole?
No. Well, I mean, okay. I don't think in like a perfect world, I don't think you should have called his friend like a loser, blah, blah, blah. But he kind of started the argument and was pretty insistent on you using your own money. And yes, it's going to be collective money, but using money that you had planned for your future and for your house.
Yeah, the house money. And most of it's yours.
Yeah, yeah, exactly. And most of it's yours for his friend who has constantly been disrespectful and just unsafe and, not a great person. So he like started that argument and it seems like kind of pushed you to that outburst. So I don't think you're the a-hole. I think he's being kind of unreasonable.
Yeah, and I'm not going to lie, you're not even out of line because if you drink and drive all the time, you're an absolute loser.
Yeah, I agree. That's why I like, if you want to have a productive conversation, that's maybe not the best language, but also given the circumstances, this guy does suck and should not be on the road. And I would not be friends with someone who is like this unless, they're in a really bad space and like need help. And I would probably go that route first, but it doesn't seem like OP's partner is even doing that, which, you're not holding your friend accountable or even pushing him to get maybe help he needs. So stop doing that.
Yeah.
So not the a-hole.
Tie him down and keep his hands behind his back. That way he can't drink and drive.
And make him run a 3-legged race.
It's true. It's what friends do.
Mm-hmm.
Comment 1. Not the a-hole. You need to sit your fiancé down and tell him point blank that he is asking his fiancée to sacrifice her values and risk the down payment on your future house for a man who frequently drives after drinking and is currently in a situation of his own making. Personally, I wouldn't be able to remain friends with someone who drives like that. Putting your own life in danger, that's none of my business, but risking other people's lives, that makes you among the lowest of the low in my mind.
Yeah. No, as someone who's lost like a family member to drunk driving, it is completely unacceptable.
Just don't do it.
Yeah.
They got cars that drive themselves now.
Yeah.
Your fiancé needs a serious reevaluation of his morals. OP says, I have the same view. People can be as self-destructive as they want, but I cannot respect or support someone who is destructive towards others. My fiancé and I have spoken about his friend a few times, and while he completely understands my issues with him, he still feels responsible for him, cares about him, and feels obligated to help him turn his life around. Comment 2 says, my question is, why is this all falling on your shoulders? If Drinky Poo Tom wants to attend your wedding and stand by your fiancé that badly, surely Drinky Poo Tom can find some other means of making that happen besides the bank of OP and fiancé.
Well, that's the thing. OP's partner or fiance has made it clear that he'll bail his friend out. And so his friend just come to rely on him.
Yeah, it sounds like that's what's happening. OP replies, that, LOL. That made me smile and I needed that. Drinky Poo Tom has no savings. For years, he mooched off his parents, then left to live with his uncle because his parents were insisting he get a job or move out. His uncle eventually booted him out because he wouldn't contribute anything to the household. He came back to live at home with his parents, still no job, and continuously invites some of his less than savory friends over to stay at the house, even though his mom is immunocompromised. She has and is undergoing chemo. So, his parents haven't tossed him out yet, but they are so fed up they are refusing to help at all with his medical expenses or to send him to our wedding. I can't really blame them. He does sound like the kind of guy who'd be like, "Oh, what the heck, guys? It's so, like, unfair. You guys won't help me go to this destination wedding or pay for the...
I want to go to Cabo.
Oh,
You gotta let me go to Cabo.
come on,
Why
please.
not?
I'll get a job next decade, please.
I was thinking about getting a job in Cabo,
Yeah, I was
like,
thinking about, like,
handing out drinks,
or, like, working for those cool guys.
selling bracelets, on the street.
Yeah, they take you to the back room and they have things to sell. Anyway. And now that he's injured, he probably won't be able to get a job for a while. Since he has not held a job for more than 3 months in his entire life, as far as I know, I don't know that he's even eligible for unemployment or disability. So he really doesn't have many options. And there's an edit. Thank you to everyone that's responded. I will try to work through all of those this evening. I just want to make a quick edit based on a question that comes up a lot. Our finances. To clarify, we have talked about everything, especially financial expectations, to make sure we are on the same page. My fiance's dad is the family law attorney, and as soon as it became clear we were in it for the long term, he sat us down, discussed with us the common pitfalls he saw that ended relationships, and gave us his advice to avoid them. His advice revolves largely around open communication and setting expectations and boundaries early, especially around money. So when we each graduated, we talked about the career paths we wanted. My fiancé decided he'd rather take a lower paying job with normal hours, less stress, and more time outside of work. He wasn't worried about helping his parents out later in life because they are very well set up. He also wasn't worried that much about developing a big retirement account because he's very likely to inherit enough to survive on comfortably. I, on the other hand, likely will not have any inheritance and will want to provide for my parents' medical expenses and retirement as they get older. I also have a good amount of student loan debt. He doesn't because his parents could afford to pay for it. And while we both really enjoy traveling, he'd be willing to cut back on it significantly to have an easier job year-round. I wouldn't want to burden him with those costs, the ones that I brought into the relationship, as I feel that would naturally cause resentment, especially if it meant he had to work a job he enjoyed less to help share the costs with me. So I took a high-stress job that I don't enjoy, and that requires me to work longer hours, but that pays significantly more. We agreed we each should be able to make that choice and decided a fair way to handle finances would be to create a joint account for common expenses, like rent, bills, food, entertainment, and work clothes. At his father's suggestion, we put in writing specifically what the fund could be used for, and agreed that anything outside that list would need to be approved by both of us, and that if the account is dissolved, we each get back what we put in, and we split any interest evenly. We each pay 35% of our incomes. Because of the difference in our incomes, about 80% of the fund ultimately comes from my income, which I think is reasonable because we're a team. We're building a life together, and the difficulties of my job invariably affect him too. We would also create other joint savings accounts as needed for new projects, each the same way, with a written agreement as to what they can be used for. We have one for the house, 20% of our incomes, and one for the wedding, 10% of our income. And by the way, I want you to know that you can listen to 100% of the full episodes with stories like this that we have on Spotify, iHeartRadio, or Apple Podcasts, or wherever you're listening to podcasts right now. Just search OK Storytime, and you can begin the process of listening to every last one of them. It'll take a while, but we do have a little bit left
Sure do.
of this story.
So we just got a lot of dad advice there.
A lot of dad advice.
Yeah. Advice.
I guess it feels like you're a team. It kind of didn't in a way, but I guess it does after you say it enough times.
I don't know. It just doesn't seem like you actually solved that issue, to my knowledge.
Which is the issue of
Did they solve it?
their
Yeah.
friend. I don't think so.
It doesn't
We haven't
feel
really
like
talked
they-
about the friend.
Yeah, they're like, so we had a huge blow up fight where I called his friend a loser. And then my dad came over and he sat us down and he said, "You need to be a team."
I don't even think that. I think this was more just like a
Just like
clarifying
yeah.
how we do finances.
I guess so. All right.
Well, we've got some more.
Okay.
I don't think we have a resolution to the actual problem.
Okay.
But don't let loser Ben go to your. That was his
Yeah.
name, right?
I don't know.
Loser. I'm gonna say it
Don't
was
let
Ben.
loser.
Isn't it Tom?
Loser Tom.
Loser Tom.
Loser Tom. Don't let loser Tom go to your wedding on the at the cost of your house fund.
Yeah.
That's not gonna happen. Let's not have that happen.
Agreed.
He can come digitally. Anyway, we each get to keep the remaining 35% for our personal spending. My fiance does not have much left over. He has some taken out pre-taxes for a 401k, and he uses the rest for his car and in a few hobbies. Right now, he voluntarily went part-time because his workplace was going to need to fire people if they didn't get volunteers due to the current situation, and we're in a good position otherwise, so he's pretty much no disposable income. I have a ton, but it goes mostly towards yearly vacations for us, my student loans that I'm paying double what is owed each month to pay them down, and my retirement account, an account used to set up for my parents' future expenses and my car payments. Right now, it's also going towards helping with his car payments and hobbies. So, yes, I could cut back on certain things and be able to pay for his friend, but it would affect those other things that I've worked hard for. I realize this system would not work for everyone, but it works for us, and I am definitely not financially mistreating my fiancé. And that is the end of that story.
Well, hope you guys figure out the Tom sitch. Good luck.
My fiancé wants to dance to a song at our wedding dedicated to her late fiancé.
It's because he can't make it, but you're already there.
So before we met, my fiancée Kayla was engaged to a man she had dated for 3 years who passed away in a traffic accident. I had never dated a woman who had that kind of loss before, so I've been learning as I go, but I've tried to respect that he will always be a part of her story, and I accepted her relationship with her late fiancé's parents with open arms.
Aww, OP.
Close those arms. By the way, this comes from user Anxious Journalist 2. If you want to submit your own stories, go to the r/OKStorytime subreddit. I'm Dakota.
I'm Riley.
And we are here to give good advice goofily, but we don't have all the answers. We only know what we know. So let us know what you know in the comments. Okay?
Especially if you have experienced loss. We want to hear it.
And OP says, they stayed very close, and by the time we started dating, they were basically like a second set of parents to her. Kayla's real parents and her late fiancé's parents are all amazing people, so I consider myself pretty lucky to have 2 sets of great in-laws. Our wedding is coming up in May, and Kayla told me that after her father-daughter dance, she would like to have a second dance with her late fiancé's father to the song Vanilla Twilight. She asked me if I was comfortable with that, and I didn't want to be that guy and say no, so I said yes.
But you wanted to say no.
So now all of this is your fault. But really, it makes me uncomfortable that she would be dancing to a love song dedicated to another man at our wedding. I'm happy to make space in our lives for his memory. A photo of him is on our mantle at home. We make it a point to commemorate his birthday on the anniversary of his passing, and I feel like I am understanding and supportive when she has bad days. I am 100% fine with having his parents at the wedding because, like I said, we're all a family. But I also feel like our wedding is one day that it's all about our relationship. Am I being an a-hole if I ask her to reconsider this dance? What are the best compromises here?
Ooh.
We have an update.
How old is everyone?
I'm 30.
Thank you. I'm 28.
I was going to say, you are not 28. We don't have ages.
Oh, at all? Dude, we need those. That is some context.
But what's the most important age? Like, why is contextually the age is so important?
If this guy right now that's talking is like early 20s, it makes sense that it's kind of a hard thing to come about and be like, oh, I can't have my wife dedicate herself to another man and then we get married. But if he's in his 30s, it's still hard emotions, but you have experienced more life than others.
Everyone's a little out of whack here.
I agree.
Everyone's a little like it's just a
know.
little crazy.
Maybe not the bride.
Yeah, that's a little crazy.
You think so?
I think having something there to like whether it's like an empty chair, that's a good one people do for like relatives and stuff, or but it's like to have a whole song and like a dance. I don't know if they're gonna dance, but just like to commemorate a song is like just a weird moment because it's like, well, you can't. He's gone, and this is your wedding to your next partner. 2 months ago, I married the love of my life. I was thinking about this thread the other day, how it went, and where my head was at when I made it, and I thought you guys might like an update. A little anticlimactically, the thing I was stressing about was a bit of a miscommunication, which probably happens a lot here. Kayla wanted to dance with her late fiance's father at our wedding, Luke, and Vanilla Twilight was an example of a song along the lines of what she wanted, not the set-in-stone top choice like I had thought. I and a lot of commenters in the original thread spent a lot of time overanalyzing the lyrics to that song, looking for hidden meaning in every word, while it turns out she hadn't put much more thought into the suggestion than, this is the kind of like sad song that I would like.
Oh,
Yeah,
got it.
That
Bro
is fair.
was overthinking.
I was thinking she wanted to dance with you to this song, and that's why. That was also why I was like, I don't know, that's just a weird. I can't do a dance with you to commemorate your passed away ex-fiance. Like in my head, that's like you're pretending I'm him.
I thought it was like a father-daughter type of dance thing. That's what I was imagining.
It is. It is. But in my head, I was analyzing it as like she wants. I was like, we're in an interesting situation here. We got together that night, and she had made several playlists of possible first dance songs for us. Songs for when she walks down the aisle, music to play at the reception, and song choices for her dance with Luke's father. We spent hours listening to them all and talking about the wedding. We even made a tournament-style bracket for our first dance song in her journal and put songs head-to-head against each other until the victor emerged. And in the end, we talked about the wedding and our relationship, Luke and their relationship, and grief. What it was like when she lost him and what it was like for me when I lost my mom at a young age, what a family is, and all the things we're hopeful for the future. We stayed up until 3 a.m. just talking and planning and laughing and crying a little, and I'm so glad for it. After getting bombarded by dozens of different opinions from dozens of different people earlier that day, I had been worried that I was going to have a conflict with my fiancé shortly before our wedding. But there was no conflict, just a pure memory. After that night, I started putting in more effort to be involved with the wedding planning process and to actually ask for the things I wanted, which Kayla actually really appreciated. We also took a long weekend, a couple of weeks before the wedding, to go on a camping trip together for just the two of us, which I highly recommend to anyone who is getting married. Overall, there was a complete flip in my feelings leading up to the wedding from being somewhat insecure and excited, but nervous, to being completely at ease, excited, and feeling stronger about my relationship than ever.
Yes, stress out your fiancés. Good things will happen.
And if you want to be stronger than ever in every possible way in your life, listen to 4 episodes with stories just like this on your favorite podcast platform, iHeartRadio, Spotify, Apple Podcasts. I don't care where it is. Just search OK Storytime and find it wherever you listen to podcasts. We've got a little bit more story here. It's going very well. You're going to get married and have 100 babies and live forever.
So you're about to get married, Dakota, in this situation I'm talking about right now.
Mm.
What is the one question you're going to ask your fiance, who's currently your girlfriend in this scenario right now, to stress her out so you make a breakthrough?
I don't want to spend more than $500
On?
the whole thing.
Oh, God. They're going to just say flowers.
So secretly, we plan a really rinky-dinky $500 wedding, and then I plan a much more lavish and extravagant $3,000 wedding.
I see what you did there.
Yeah.
Her expectations, yours, meet here.
Yeah, exactly. So it's like normally it'd be like 3,000. Like that seems like really low for a wedding, but it's like if I already primed her with 500, she's gonna be like, "Oh my gosh, this is 6 times more than I thought we were gonna have. It's crazy." She's like, "This is 6. This is 6 times better than I thought it would be." Wow.
Oh my God. Yes, I love that.
That's how you do it, and that's how you lie to your partner and make everything in your life better. The wedding day itself was really wonderful and worth the wait. Kayla and Luke's father had their dance to Lean on Me, And I also had a dance with Kayla's mom, and it was very emotional in a good way. I really felt that the day was a celebration of our love, and I was genuinely happy that Luke's parents were there to celebrate along with us because they are very much members of our family, and I wish I had the space to describe all the ways they've been there for us through the years. My amazing wife is who she is because of all the experiences that she's had in her life, and I don't want to be the kind of man who asks her to pretend that she has never loved before me or pretend that her grief is something that is or should be done with forever now that she has me. I just want to say how glad I am that we shared that night together and that the wedding was nothing but love and celebration. I never thought I could be so happy. And that's the end of that story. Wow. That was a wonderful happy ending.
My fiance has been love bombing me, and I finally discovered the reason why.
It's because they love me?
I know the title sounds horrible, but please hear me out. My fiance, 45 female, and I, 45 male, have been engaged for 2 years and have been together for 3. I have been divorced twice already. She has also been divorced twice and has one amazing daughter. My first ex was cheating on me while I was deployed. We didn't have kids, so it was no problem with the divorce. By the way, this comes from Outrageous Gear 4160, and if you want to submit your own stories, go to the r/OK Storytime subreddit. I'm Sophia.
I'm Dakota.
I'm Carly.
And we're here to give good advice goofily, but we don't have all the answers. We only know what we'd do. So let us know what you would do in the comments. And OP says, my second ex got hooked on hardcore substances and had multiple online affairs. Yikes. We did have kids. One child was hers from a previous marriage, and we had 2 children together. I adopted her kid, and I love her with all my heart. When she turned 19 and moved out to college, she pushed me to get a divorce because of how horrible her mom was and said that I deserved happiness. Wow. Because of my ex's issue, I have full custody of my kids who are now teenagers. This is when I met my fiance. We both worked for the same government agency. We were in separate departments, but when we ran into each other, we immediately clicked. She was a bigwig and I was just a peon. We started hanging out, and within weeks of meeting, we were dating. Within 6 months of dating, she invited me to move in with her, which I partially did. I wasn't ready to expose my kids fully to someone new until I could make sure they would treat them right. So I would spend weekends with her while my parents watched my kids, and sometimes I spent the night during the week. Within 2 weeks of this arrangement, her attitude shifted. She started acting cold and distant. She was hiding her phone and giggling with someone on the phone while giving me the cold shoulder. That does sound like cheating.
That makes me a little uncomfy.
I'm not proud of what I did next, but I was able to get into her phone while she was sleeping and found out she was having phone spicy time with 2 other guys.
Dang, well, it could have been worse.
Could have been 3,
Could have been 4.
could have been 5. I flipped out, grabbed my stuff, and left. She woke up to see me grabbing my things and begged me to stay. I told her no and walked out. For the next 2 weeks, she kept calling and begging me to forgive her, saying she would never do it again. She said she missed me and made a huge mistake not taking our relationship more seriously. After talking this over with my friends and family, I decided to give her another chance. But I told her if she ever does that again, I would leave without a second thought. We started dating again, and I finally introduced her to my kids. After a year, we got engaged. She was sweet to my kids, and the kids got along. Everyone seemed to get along great. That is, until we decided to officially move in together. We got a house that could accommodate everyone. That's when the remarks started about my kids. How loud and annoying they are, how much they get on her nerves. At first, I thought it was just an adjustment to having all the extra bodies in the house. But after 6 months of nonstop crap talking on my kids, I started snapping back. Yes, my kids can be a little hyper sometimes when they get excited, but for the most part, they keep to themselves in their rooms. She refuses to go out to eat with them or have any quality time. When she does finally do it, due to one of our arguments, she acts bitter the entire time. Her daughter has now started calling me Dad because I spend equal time with all of them and treat her like my own. My kids refuse to acknowledge my fiancé as such because of how she acts towards them. then yeah, maybe shouldn't be your fiance.
It's sort of reading that way, isn't it?
Yeah. I feel like, didn't she already cheat, or is this before?
I think this is the cheating comes after.
Yeah, I mean, one, she mistreats your kids, or, at least is not nice to them, and also cheated on you, so it's pretty cut and dry. Here comes the other issues. When we got engaged, she said she refuses to take my last name. Or wait, was that the last wife, maybe? Was that the last wife? Or was this the fiance? I'm double checking. So I met my fiance. She starts cheating. And
maybe OP.
Okay, so OP gave her another chance. Sorry. So this
able
is
to look past it because people have cheated on him in the past, and OP didn't get cheated on like butt to butt. It was just thumb to thumb,
So yeah, that. And also, one, we've got like so many reasons to leave this girl. She cheated on you. She's not nice to your kids. We gotta move. We gotta move out of here. She has been married twice and does not want to have to change her name again. I think that's reasonable. If she weren't like kind of sucky all around, I'd be like, that's reasonable. She switched back to her maiden name after her last divorce. I had no problem with that and was willing to compromise. Then she said I'm not allowed to post about us on social media. This irked me. I asked her why she wanted to hide our relationship. She said she doesn't want anybody at her job to know about us. Okay. Now, to clarify, I left the job we both worked at before we got engaged to avoid any weird drama. She was the head honcho there and I was just a worker. Even though we worked in different departments, I didn't want to risk her getting in trouble. Now she's saying that if her job finds out about us, she'll be fired. So no social media posts, and we're not to be seen in public being intimate. No hand-holding and no kissing. She tells people at work that we're just friends.
Yeah.
That's huge red flag.
I am not staying engaged, nor am I staying in a relationship with this lady.
Yeah. Like, at that point, you're about to get married to her, and she doesn't want to tell her job or HR, hey, I'm seeing one of, a guy who works here.
Yeah, I mean, I'm always a proponent of the secret wedding, but this one feels like it would be a secret wedding because she doesn't want people to know you exist, which is not the reason to do a secret wedding.
Too secret. At this point, my red flag alarm system was going berserk. I tried to discuss this with my friends, and they think my trust issues from my past relationships may be interfering and that I wouldn't get a chance with someone like her again. A cheater? You wouldn't get a chance with a cheater again?
Cheater, and pumpkin eater. Her face is all orange because all she does is eat pumpkins all day.
Now, let's be honest. She is a complete 10 in the looks department, while I'm a steady 5. She is super gorgeous.
She's freaking Auga.
And gets hit on all the time. She tells me when people hit on her, even people she works with, and she rejects them. I don't know if this is lip service or what. The new thing she does is as soon as she gets home, she deletes all her text messages saying she doesn't like the clutter on the screen.
That's just not true.
It's just cheating.
You're just a dirty little liar.
I have tried to see what's on there, but she's so quick in deleting it, I can't see anything. And she tells me it's just work messages. That's not true.
Nobody does that.
Now, when she gets texts, she does this thing where she leans back far enough so I can't see what she's texting and immediately deletes the text, or she jumps up and goes to the bathroom. She's been pressuring me into when we are getting married lately. I told her when she can prove her loyalty to me. Her family and our friends think I shouldn't be acting this way. They say my insecurities are mine and I need to get over them. I just want to know if she's embarrassed by me or if I am being played for a fool. What do you guys think? You are being played for a fool, and also she is embarrassed by you.
I hear a little because you're being played like a fiddle.
Yes. She's cheating on you now. She was cheating on you then. We gotta go.
She will cheat on you again.
When will she cheat on you? Have you cheated? That was an Elijah Woods reference. But there's an update. Leave. That's the answer.
But wait.
What?
She's so hot.
But did we think about that she's a 10?
She's so hot. Cheat on me.
OP, she's so hot that you're burning yourself.
Cheat on me, baby girl. Cheat on me.
That's what OP's saying. Thank you, everyone, for your comments. It's been a month since I last posted. A lot has happened since then. Right now, I'm sitting at a bar trying to drown my stupidity. I'm not sure where to begin. I called her on her BS. We got into a fight about her behavior. After that, it seems she started changing. She started getting more involved with my kids. She seemed to be more transparent and open. I thought things were going in a good direction. We spent the holidays with my family, and she was friendly and seemed genuinely happy. 2 weeks ago, she said she had a temporary assignment out of town. I thought it was weird, but said, whatever, it's her job. But I had this weird knot in my stomach. I started questioning her about it, and something felt off. She wouldn't give me details about her hotel or what she was doing. So I did something that I'm not proud of. I put a tracker in her car. My guy.
Oh, you're
My
doing
guy.
the FBI now.
When we've got to be the FBI to our girlfriend, maybe we gotta F out of that relationship.
You don't. What you should say? FBYE. Bye.
FB, why are you doing that?
Bye.
Because it's just silly now. It's silly.
Freaking booty inspector.
Huh?
That's what FBI stands for.
Yeah. I helped her pack her clothes. She grabbed sweats, jeans, and work shirts, told me she loved me, then left. The 2 days prior to her leaving were weird. The best way I can describe it is she was love bombing me. She kept telling me how much she loved me and how she was going to miss me. She was more affectionate than she had been in months. After she left and went to the hotel for her job, I started tracking her. She said she had to be at the job site by 2 p.m., which was 2 hours away. First, she had to check into her hotel. Then she would head to the job site. The problem was her vehicle never left the hotel, so I followed her tracker to the hotel. I pulled up to the hotel and saw her vehicle, the nice convertible that she wanted me to buy her, so I did. I called her and texted her, but she wouldn't respond. She finally called me back and told me she was busy working and had to go to the bathroom to talk to me because of the noise. She said she would be working all night and would call me when she got off work. I sat in that parking lot, doubting myself. What if I was wrong? What if she took a shuttle or Uber to her job site? I sat in my car, processing when I saw her. She came out of the hotel with her boss. She was dressed in a nice outfit that she hadn't packed. They walked to her boss's truck. He opened her door, helped her in, and climbed into the driver's seat. It broke me. I couldn't believe what I was seeing. Suddenly, a rage surged through me. Everything in me wanted to ram his truck.
Uh-oh.
The rage quickly turned into cold anger. I texted her, "Enjoy effing your boss." I put my car in drive and drove home. I called my friend and asked if I could swing by. He recently went through something similar. He said his door was always open and to swing by when I got back into town. When I got there, I told him everything. He didn't say a lot, he just listened. After I was done, he said there wasn't a lot of advice he could give me. I needed to figure things out. Whatever I decided, he would have my back. He helped me talk through what needed to be done. I left his house and went to mine. I woke my kids up and told them to pack some clothes. I called my parents and asked if I could stay there for a few days, and I started packing my clothes when my now ex-fiancé came into the house. She kept trying to call me, but I blocked her number, so she drove back from the hotel to the house to talk to me. Did she just want him to, parent her kids?
Yeah, I'm not sure what her long,
Yeah.
term plan was here.
I don't understand it.
And of course she's going to pull the, no, wait, you don't understand.
Yeah.
It's not what it looks like. And then she'll pivot to, well, it is what it looks like, but not the way that you think.
It didn't mean anything.
And then she'll just pivot to, well, you shouldn't think that way.
It's your fault.
You should be okay with this.
It's actually you didn't love me enough.
That's right. And that's the final pivot right there.
Mhm. I kept packing while she kept trying to explain to me that it isn't what I thought, that they were just going for a drink. I told her to get away from me. The weird thing is she wasn't showing much emotion. She kept telling me that she didn't want to lose me and that it was a big misunderstanding. She kept blocking the door so I couldn't leave. As much as I wanted to, I didn't try to move her. I didn't want her to be able to say that I touched her. It took an hour for me to get her to move. Finally, I was able to leave and went to my parents' house. Of course, she immediately tried to spin the narrative, telling everyone it was a misunderstanding. Everyone started calling me, telling me to call her and talk it out. It's just a misunderstanding, and she didn't do anything. I blocked them all. By the way, I hope you guys didn't misunderstand that you can listen to full episodes with stories just like this. Just go to Spotify, Apple Podcasts, or iHeartRadio and search up OK Storytime. There's a little bit left of the story.
To be fair,
Yeah.
you didn't really find any concrete evidence that what you think happened did happen. With the additional context you provided us, it feels like a pretty much
Slam dunk.
it's like a pretty much a certainty that it did. However, you really didn't get to a point of incontrovertible evidence.
But honestly, I don't even care because whatever gets OP out of this relationship is good with me. That's where I'm at.
Yeah, I do believe this is bad. And you know what?
Yeah.
You did already have evidence she had cheated on you before, so in a
Mhm.
way, that's all the evidence you need that she'd do it again.
And she was a bad parent. So kind of all good. Because she is blocked on my phone, she started emailing me, telling me she was sorry and how she never meant to hurt me, and that she now sees how she has been and how she can change. She said she sees how she has damaged our family and how she can fix it. Well, okay.
Can you unbang your boss somehow?
Yeah.
How do we do you have a time machine and we can go back and take the place that in our lives?
I can see birds flying. Doesn't mean I can fly. I told her that she had 4 years to do that. She didn't regret what she did. She regretted getting caught, and I blocked her email. I want to go scorched earth. Her boss is married with 3 kids. I want to burn it all down, contact his wife and the HR department, and let them know what their government employees have been doing.
Yay! Do that.
So now I'm
Do
sitting
it.
at the bar, spiraling between anger and heartache. I'm not sure what to do next. The lease for our house is in both of our names. I don't have the money for a deposit for a new rental, so I am sitting here trying to figure out the next steps in my life. I will keep everyone updated on what I can figure out. My only kind of warning to Scorched Earth is I think you should tell the boss's wife because she deserves to know.
Mm.
However, I don't know if you should tell your company or wherever they work unless because it seems like you have a good relationship with her kids, and if she loses her job, that affects them too. So that's my only thinking there.
Well, the children in the marriage that the boss has is going to be affected by the knowledge that their parents are going to get divorced.
Yeah.
So no matter what, I think
it's just like financially
Here's what I
affected
think
is
you
what I
do.
mean.
I think you just move somewhere else.
You just leave. My boyfriend decided to share a hotel with random women after wanting to go solo.
That seems suspicious.
Currently, my boyfriend is traveling with 2 random girls he met in a hostel. He initially told me he would be traveling to an island alone and that he would be staying in hostels. He spent 2 nights in the first city and was having a good time exploring with a group of people he had met at the hostel. After his 2 nights there, he told me he was taking an Uber to the next city. By the way, this comes from Kindly Sugar 778, and if you want to submit your own stories, go to the r/OK Storytime subreddit. I'm Sophia.
I'm Riley.
I'm Keon.
We're here to give good advice goofily, but we don't have all the answers. We only know what we do. So let us know what you would do in the comments. And OP says, usually we talk when he has time like this, but when I called him, he told me he was actually traveling with some other people because they were taking the same path as him. So he could not answer the phone. The next day, we were talking on the phone, and he had to go soon because the people he was with were waiting for him. I asked him who they were, assuming they were guys. I called them guys. At that point, he made a face that made me think otherwise, and I asked him if they were girls. He said yeah. I asked him if he was joking, and he said he was not. I asked why he was spending time with them like that, and he said because they were on the same path as him. I don't think this is unreasonable yet. I don't think we've reached a part of the story that it's unreasonable.
But you kind of had to get him out of it. Like,
yeah, I think Well, I mean, all he said, he was like, I'm traveling with some people, and then she was like, guys, and he was like, and she was like, girls. So that is a little bit weird, but I don't think like just traveling with them by itself is like bad.
I get that.
You know what I'm saying? Like, I think he was a little bit weird, but
I
just
think
that.
Mentioning some names. Hey,
Yeah.
you know, Maria and Tamria
Yeah.
are coming with me.
Yeah, I think it would have been more respectful if he said it immediately.
Yes, there we
Yeah.
go. That's what I'm looking for.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I then asked if he was going to be with them for the rest of his vacation, and he said yes. I told him that this made me feel really uncomfortable. He told me it was nothing to worry about and that this was hostel culture, which I would not understand because I've never stayed at a hostel. I told him I did understand, and I had never had any reservations about him meeting people at hostels and hanging out with them before. But I had an issue with him meeting 2 girls at a hostel and then planning out the rest of his trip with them when this was supposed to be a solo trip. Okay. I see where OP's coming from, but also, like, so many of my friends who have done solo trips meet people along, like, one of my close friends that I met while traveling in hostels, she ended up meeting me in multiple places. It's my friend Jada.
Yeah, I was about to say.
Yeah, and she ended up meeting me, and like we like planned our trip
Yeah.
so that we could meet up. And this also happened with like other male friends that I made along the way.
Just because it's a solo trip
Yeah.
doesn't mean
You have to be solo forever.
yeah, the whole time.
Yeah, it's not like you're, I don't know, like in silence. It's not a
A
retreat.
lone wolf trip.
Yeah. It's not a solo retreat. Then he asked me if I was threatened, and I told him it was not about feeling threatened. I just did not like it, and it had nothing to do with my confidence in myself. I can dislike something and still feel great about myself at the same time. I reiterated that it was not cool with me and decided to move on in the conversation. I told myself it was okay and that I did trust him, and I could just think of it like he was traveling with 2 other people. Well, I mean, that's what he's doing so far.
Mm-hmm.
The next day, he messaged me and told me he got a really nice suite. He said it was an oceanfront suite and that he was excited to check in. He had a few hours to unalive before he could check in, but said he would call me later.
Hopefully he's by himself here, right?
I don't know. Later that night, when we were talking on the phone, he told me it was a really nice place and a 2-story oceanfront suite. I told him I would love to see it and asked if he could show it to me on FaceTime. He hesitated and then said there was someone downstairs. I was confused because he was at a hotel, so I asked who was staying with him. He said it was the girls from the days prior. I told him it was one thing for him to travel alongside them, but a totally different thing to share a hotel room with them. He told me it wasn't a big deal because they were on a different floor than him. He told me I didn't understand because this was hostel culture. You can't use that as your excuse for everything.
We're not in a hostel anymore.
Yeah, you're at a
okay?
hotel now. He's like, no, he gets back to the wherever they live, and he's like she finds him cheating with a girl. And he's like, no, babe, it's hostel culture. You don't get it.
You don't understand.
We're sharing a bed because it's hostel culture.
Oh my gosh.
I said staying in a hostel was different because there are more than 3 people there. And he said, not always. What does that mean?
Not always. Something could always happen.
Yeah, sometimes I've already slept with just them in the same room. I told him that regardless, this was inappropriate and that he was crossing a big boundary with me. We talked about his plans the next day of going snorkeling and fishing, and I asked if they would be going with him too, and he said yes.
Buddy.
From there, we talked for a few more minutes and then said goodnight. Since then, I have had a sick feeling in the pit of my stomach. This just does not sit right with me, and I'm hoping people familiar with this hostile culture can give me some clarity. I was okay with him traveling with them in an Uber to get to the same place. I was not okay, but let it go when he decided to continue traveling with them on a trip that was initially solo. But I feel like them staying in the same hotel room is the thing I cannot get past. Additionally, it also bothers me that the reason we do not travel together right now is because he says he doesn't want to travel with me until we're engaged or married.
Because when you're engaged and married, you have to share a room, and he probably has like this thing where like he doesn't want to share a room with someone because he's not engaged or married to them.
That's kind of wild. He says that if we traveled together, we would make all these memories, and if we ever broke up, these memories would be troublesome for him. That is the most ridiculous reason for not wanting to travel with your partner that I've ever heard.
I get, you know why? Because he probably has like a little like timetable. Because he's like, all right, once I'm done with my free single trip or my fun solo trip, I actually have OP to go back to.
That's crazy.
But if OP breaks up with him, which OP might,
Yeah.
he's like, oh, but I can't extend my trip. I didn't know. I would have ended it.
Yeah.
I would have just stayed out here as long as possible.
Oh my gosh.
This guy stinks. I have a completely different take and think we should live life and experience new things together. Yeah. Nonetheless, he is not comfortable with that right now, and that's okay. But then he's willing to plan the rest of this trip with these two girls and make these memories and have these once-in-a-lifetime experiences with them. Not to mention they've been beach hopping.
How dare you guys in your swimsuits?
Beach hopping? Ah. And I cannot get past the fact that he's just sunbathing on a beach with two girls who are probably not fully clothed.
I would hope they're not fully clothed on a beach.
Okay.
You're disgusting, Keelan.
Everyone gets equal tans.
Yes, I'm jealous of that fact. And I'm still okay moving past it. The only thing holding me back from letting everything go is the hotel stay. I just think it was too much. Today we talked and he mentioned he was going to a city. I Googled it to look it up because I often try to find cool things for him to check out. When I Googled it, it came up as a resort.
No.
Is it the cheater resort?
I think so.
Dude.
I texted him and said I tried to look up that city and I was confused because it was coming up as something else. I told him it was a resort. So to access that beach, he would need to be staying at the resort. He then told me he was planning to get a suite there. Doesn't sound like you're doing a lot of hostel staying during your hostel solo trip. I asked him if he was sharing a room with these girls again, and he said probably.
Whoa!
I asked if he was serious, and he said he could not promise me. He can't promise you if he's serious? I asked him to please not, and he said he meant that the possibility of sharing a room might happen. I said I did not understand why it needed to happen, and why the answer could not just be no. He would not. He said it did not need to happen, but it might.
Bro.
This guy sucks.
Just break up with him.
I told him that the fact he could not make the boundary and could not say it would not happen says a lot. He asked what it said. At the time of that conversation, it was about 12 a.m. for me and 12 p.m. for him. Whoa. Y'all got a big time difference. I did not reply to that text because I did not want the back and forth to escalate, especially because he's on vacation and I didn't want to get more upset.
Dude, you're a very kind person.
Yeah. We have not spoken since then. I really do not want to hinder his vacation, so I think I should not push our conversation any further. I have not gotten overly upset. I have not raised my voice, and I've been patient and understanding all the way through. It hurt my feelings that when I asked if they were staying in the same suite again, he said, probably, even after I told him how I felt about it that night before. It hurt me that when I asked as nicely as I could for him not to, he was basically like, no. No, but the thing that he said was, it wasn't no, it was like, yeah, like I could not do that, but like I might do it.
Why?
Which is worse to me.
Why, dude? I don't understand it.
Yeah. I think if he just said like, no, like I'm not, like I am going to do this. I'm sorry, but like this is, I'm going to do it. That is bad, still bad, but I think it's a little better than, yeah, like I could not do that, but I think I might do it anyway.
Just not respecting her boundaries.
Yeah.
Just putting down a boundary and you're like, whatever, dude.
You're like, I'm just going to tip that over.
Just say no.
Yeah. I would like to add that he is not sharing suites with these girls out of financial need. Yeah, I figured that out, seeing as he's affording the suites in the first place.
So he just went to the hospital to pick up some girls.
I think so. My boyfriend is financially comfortable and would have no problem getting a hotel room for himself. By the way, I hope you guys are comfortable with listening to full episodes with stories just like this. Just go to Spotify, Apple Podcasts, or iHeartRadio and search up OK Storytime. There is a little bit left to this story.
Dude, the fact that he was lying, and we all know what cheaters do.
Lying.
That's their
MO.
Yeah. You for your own self, just break up, or you can stay with him until he gets back,
Yeah.
and then break up with him,
That's true.
and then he's deemed a cheater
Yeah.
because he probably did stuff
Probably.
already. I don't know.
I think I should reflect on this and talk to him a little after he comes back if I cannot make sense of it and come to terms with it on my own. I am reaching out to see what the good people of the internet think. And I am open to having people put me in my place if I am wrong or reassuring me that my reservations are reasonable. So am I the a-hole?
To yourself, yes.
Yeah, that's true. But based on what you're asking us, no. Comment 1 says, nah, you're not wrong at all. Hostile culture doesn't mean getting private suites with 2 random girls for a whole week, LMAO. The fact that he won't travel with you because of memories if you break up, but he's out here making memories with these girls is honestly wild. Plus the whole, I can't promise response when you asked him not to share rooms again. He's basically telling you his vacation with these girls is more important than your comfort in the relationship. OP said, yeah, that's exactly what it feels like. It hurts a lot to know that they get to spend this much time with him and make these memories with him doing not only once-in-a-lifetime things, but doing things he's never done before and are on his bucket list. I would love to cross things off with him and would be ready to get up and go anywhere with him in less than a second if he asked. I just can't see how I can get past this, especially because it's one thing to do something that hasn't been explicitly pointed out as crossing a boundary. Not that I would think this would need to be stated, but then just being like, yeah, I'll probably do it again. I even tried asking nicely and said, please. Yeah, I think OP, you did everything right in this scenario of how to ask him.
Yeah, he just doesn't respect you.
Yeah.
Or the
Yeah.
relationship. Goodness gracious.
It just feels really weird because if he were saying, I don't want to travel with you because I don't feel comfortable sharing a, room
Memories.
or a
whatever.
room. That's what I thought he was going to say.
Oh, got it, yeah.
Like, I'm like religious and for this reason I can't share a room. But memories? Stupid reason. He creates memories every time he's with you. Hopefully, unless he's like forgetting them. He like blacks out every time he hangs out with you. It's like, wait, what happened? Comment 2. Where is the solo part in this trip? Now you know why he doesn't want you to travel with him. You'll cramp his style. Go radio silent. Be too busy to answer his messages. OP says that's what I might do. Take some time and really let this sink in for me.
Get it? Because he travels on boats and it
Yeah.
might sink?
Is he traveling in a boat?
No.
He could be. He could be taking a cruise with these 2 girls.
That is true.
Cruising around the world.
cruises? Mm.
My girlfriend said her family is the most important thing, but we're getting married already.
Well, then she needs to sort out her priorities.
I met my fiancée Rosa a few years ago in college. We hit it off immediately and started dating in our senior year of college and have been together for a little over 5 years now. I proposed to her a few months ago and she accepted. Congratulations.
Nice.
And we're getting married this summer. She's wonderful, the smartest, funniest, and prettiest woman in the room wherever she goes. By far the most important person in my life. By the way, this comes from username 515235. That's someone's phone number.
Yeah.
Also 515, that's also my area code where I grew up. Are we neighbors? Okay. And if you want to submit your own stories, go to r/OKStorytime subreddit. I'm Vincent.
I'm Sophia.
And we're here to give good advice goofily, but we don't have all the answers. We only know what we would do. But if you know what you would do, put what you would do in the comments. OP says, Rosa is Middle Eastern and told me from the beginning that her family is very important to her. Her best friend, Sophia, is of the same ethnic origin. Oh, Sophia?
It's me.
515, neighbors? What's going on? And the pair have been best friends since they were kids. One night, Rosa was at my house, and her friend Sophia called saying she was upset about something in her family. So I told my fiancé that she should invite her friend over and they can talk about it. I was pretty tired anyways, So when Sophia came over, I greeted her and went upstairs to go to bed. About half an hour later, I came downstairs to get some water, and I heard my fiance saying something to Sophia along the lines of, yeah, I mean, honestly, the only people who I really care about are my parents and my brothers. I couldn't live without them. Everyone else is in the background.
Dang. There's got to be more context.
Yeah, I feel like there's some
Cool.
context with the family stuff. It hurt.
Yeah.
A lot, especially the way she said it. Not even in a malicious way, just as in a this is how it is way, as though there's no debate because truly no one else matters. Her best friend, who would also be categorized as background by that logic, agreed and said she also viewed her immediate family as her top priority. But her best friend isn't in a long-term relationship where she's engaged to be married. I went back upstairs and couldn't sleep. When Rosa came back, I told her I overheard it, and it hurt me. She responded with, I'm not going to lie to you. My parents and brothers come first. I promise you, once we are married and build a life together, you and our kids will become first, but those feelings aren't something that we can force.
I don't fully disagree with that. I'm not saying that it would be the same for me, but I see kind of where she's coming with from that comment.
It's like the time loyalty. Like, I've spent more time with my family. And then, like, I don't know how long they've been together, but, like, you are still a newer person in my life that you are going to need to be folded into my life. I'm not going to fold my life around you.
Yeah. And I think I would be more hurt by the fact that she said everyone else's background. But I think in her explanation, I think what she more means is right now, top priority is family. And I'll, like, go to bat for them. And then once I marry, that is my new family. And I think a lot of people do view, like, family that way. It's like you transfer.
Yeah.
So I kind of see what she's saying. Not saying that I necessarily would view it that way, but I understand where she's coming from a little bit more.
Okay. Let's get back to it. I didn't say anything to her after she said that, but took my pillow to go to sleep in another room. She didn't follow me or make an effort to show that she cared, even though I do that for her whenever she's upset. When I brought it up the next day, she repeated what she had said before. I know I can't force her to feel anything, and I wouldn't want to have to force her to love me more than anyone else. But if you asked me who my number one person is, I would say her in a heartbeat. Am I unreasonable when I say I want my future wife to love me as much as I love her? Comments. Comment number 1. Oh man, my soon-to-be ex-wife's family came first always. We dated, we got married, parents still in the picture, being number 1. When the children came, I just moved down the ladder. But her family always came first or a close second to kids. In my experience, red flag. With brothers, sisters, and parents already so high up, it doesn't change. Even if she tells you this, wait till after kids. You will feel like a fifth wheel.
How long have they been together?
It's a good question.
Because I do think that is a huge factor in how I would view her. Because, like, if they've been together for a year or two, I feel like still pretty valid for her to say, my family comes first.
A little over 5 years now.
5 years is a long time. 5 years is a long time. That's a tough. I don't know. I just would never have thought to word it like she did.
Mm-hmm.
I don't think you have to choose who comes first in priority. I don't think you have to verbalize that.
No, and sort of way that OP's describing her saying this is very direct, and I could
Very
see how
dry.
it could be her. Yeah, just like, yeah, what's up? You're never gonna be first.
Yeah.
My family's first.
That's
when
like
we have
tough to
kids,
hear.
maybe you'll be first, but you're never gonna be first with kids because kids.
Like, I could see where she was coming from if she had worded it way better and she didn't. And yeah, that's really harsh for her to say it like this.
Yes. All right. Comment number 2. It's dangerous to go into marriage hoping for a change that will make you happy. That's all I have to say. Comment number 3. I'm not seeing this in other commenters, so I'll say it. This is a recipe for horrible in-laws. If there's an argument, and there will be, her family will win. Will always win. She will say, but my mom and dad make sense, or something like that. Also, when she says you and the future kids will move up the ladder, she means the kids. They will be her new priority. She might have labeled you in her mind as not as important since you two were just dating, so it could change now. But if you don't see it before marriage, I suggest bail or be okay being secondary. Comment number 4. Middle Eastern male 23 reporting in. Family comes first, but that's not the same thing as her saying she doesn't care about you.
Exactly. That's what I'm saying. Because if she had said, my family's top priority, but I still love you. She didn't say that. She said my family's top priority and everyone else is unimportant.
Yeah, she said everyone else is in the background.
Yeah, that's totally different.
The culture is heavily founded around the family setting. It's weird to explain. Those people who have been with her since birth, they are a support system and are heavily involved in her life, her successes, and her failures. No matter what, family is there when we need them. No matter how often or how inconvenient. No questions asked. They have your back always. That's not a relationship that forms in a couple of years, even at the beginning of a marriage. However, that doesn't mean you don't matter to her or as background as you feel. She is choosing to marry you and let you become family. Seeing as where she holds family, you are probably a bigger deal to her than she lets on, but her choice of words was poor. The way she said it, I can understand why you felt hurt, but it probably doesn't mean what you think it does to her. Talk to her about what you mean to her and what she means to you. Saying that family comes first and everyone is in the background probably doesn't put you nearly as far back as you feel it did, and also is probably an inaccurate description of her feelings towards you. Be clear with what you mean to each other, then make your decisions about the relationship from there. We are a blunt folk and don't always think about the way things we say will be interpreted, mainly because we don't understand how it works outside of the Middle Eastern culture. I know my people are difficult. I apologize and good luck. Sorry about formatting. I'm on mobile. Update 19 days later. Rosa and I talked the next day over dinner. The very brief summary of the conversation is something like this. Me, you are my, without a doubt, number one, but I am not for you. That's not something I can get over. Rosa, I promise once we marry, get a home together and have children, all of that, truly build a life together, you and our children will be number one. Me, what about your family? Rosa, they're number one too. You would be equal.
See, I feel like once you marry, I think the priority should be your kids and your partner.
Yes.
'Cause that's like the new family unit.
Yes.
That doesn't mean that you like sacrifice the relationships with their family. It just
Yeah.
means that there's new priorities.
As long as it's like reflected as like equal.
Yeah.
Like, I'm not going to give my parents preferential treatment, but also you might not get preferential treatment.
Yeah, but I think that's I don't know if I like would agree with that as a partner. I feel like there are certain times when you need to step up for your partner when you're in a marriage
Yeah.
and you have kids. Like, let's say kid is, I don't know, in the hospital and your parents in the hospital.
You're
gonna
got to
have to
be
go
there
with
with
the
your
kid.
kid.
Yeah.
I agree with you on that. Like, once you choose your life partner that you're with, they need to come first.
Yeah.
All right. Here's the thing. Rosa isn't wrong at all. Love isn't a competition, and family is very important. That being said, we simply have two different viewpoints on life. I want to have my own family, love them above everything else, and know that my wife and I are loving partners who don't have anyone else who comes even remotely close to that love. That's what I want. I think you can still have that in this situation.
Yeah.
Maybe it's the stereotypical too independent American viewpoint, and if it is, then I'm okay with that. It's just as valid as her conservative and traditional Middle Eastern perspective. By the way, you can listen to all of our conservative, traditional, and progressive stories and full episodes with stories just like this one. Just go to Spotify, Apple Podcasts, or your favorite podcast purveyor and look up OK Storytime. And there's other relevant updates, but
Yeah.
anything
I guess
else?
I still have mixed feelings. I think she worded it pretty poorly, and it still seems like she is not going to put you first, which seems like something you want. I guess ask yourself, is this where you draw the line?
Yeah, it feels kind of like a delaying tactic almost. I just realized in that conversation that I don't want to have to spend my entire life fighting for my wife's love. There's only one of me, but on the other side, there is her mom, her dad, her two brothers, a cousin she considers to be a sister, and a bevy of extended family. What happens when one person she loves disagrees with 10 plus people she loves just as much? I lose every time. I don't have much family in the area. Our future children would be accepted and enveloped within Rosa's family. Again, it's one person versus 10 plus people. At the end of the day, Rosa and her family and our future children will be ethnic Jordanians, while I'm still just the white guy who married Rosa. That's not a problem. She's already told me that her aunts and uncles aren't big fans of me. Okay, that's a big problem. Because I'm not Arab, and I don't think that will magically change once we get married. I plan on breaking it off with Rosa tomorrow over lunch. I'm nervous just thinking about it and remembered this post, so thought I would give you all an update. And that's
Ooh,
it.
Wow.
Oh, man.
Okay.
My friend wanted to attend my party, but he's banned from my home.
That's going to be tricky.
My fiance, 26 male, and I, 26 female, are throwing a big New Year's Eve party at our house. Why wasn't I invited? My fiance's friends are helping us put it on. We'll be providing food, kegs, games, etc. We're really excited and sent out over 100 Facebook invitations. In the description of the Facebook event, we stated that all are welcome. By the way, this comes from user Bug of Paradise, and if you want to submit your own stories, go to the r/OKStorytime subreddit. I'm Dakota.
I'm Sophia.
I'm Carly.
We're here to give good advice goofily. We're going to yak about this story. We might not yak the best advice ever, though. We don't know everything. So if you think you know better than us, why don't you test your luck down in the comments, Buster Brown? There is one person in particular that I choose not to invite. Ben. Benjamin.
Button.
Here's the backstory on Ben. He was born and he was an old man. It was weird. No one likes to hang out with him.
But then he got hot.
Here's Ben's backstory. Ben went to college with me and my fiancé and was a part of a large group of friends that we made through our shared major. We would hang out with him and mutual friends, and I was always very friendly towards him, but began to notice over time that he wasn't someone I enjoyed spending time with. Ben was always very arrogant throughout school in regards to school, but after losing a lot of weight in college, his ego went through the roof. It was as if he'd transformed into a teenager. He would brag about how much pot he could smoke, how many girls he could pull. He would brag about basically everything. Well, he would get so sloppy at parties and break things like a bull in a china shop. He was loud, obnoxious, arrogant, immature, and generally very unpleasant to be around. After graduation, I just so happened to get a job at the same place Ben works. I'm a little nervous, but excited about the job. Ben and I worked together for about a year and would occasionally see each other after work. We have other mutual friends that live in the same city as us. Our mutual friends seem to like Ben, so I mostly kept my feelings about him under wraps. I would be friendly in the group settings, but make it a point to avoid him whenever I could. I would vent to my fiancé about Ben, and he agreed that he couldn't stand Ben for the same reasons. The peak of my distaste for Ben would happen one weekend towards the end of our time working together. A big group of our friends went out and had a wild night. We all imbibed and jostled our bodies around and stayed out until about 3 a.m.
Dang. Party animals.
I get a taxi back to my apartment with my roommate and 2 other friends who were planning on staying over that night. Ben pushes his way into the cab, assuming that he would also stay at my place without asking. There had been some spicy tension between Ben and a friend of a friend, Julie, throughout the night, so Ben obviously is looking to get his button on, aka hook up with her at my apartment.
Ew, not at my apartment.
You can't be Benjamining at my apartment.
Benjamin at your own apartment.
Take your button and go home.
Go button her elsewhere.
Ben is obnoxious during the entire cab ride home. He keeps grabbing the volume control in the cab and cranking it all the way up, screaming and hanging out of the window. The cab driver is understandably pissed and repeatedly tells him to stop and has to keep adjusting the volume down to a reasonable level every time Ben cranks it up. We're all telling Ben to stop acting like a child, but this is very typical behavior for him. We arrive back at my apartment, and I set up 2 air mattresses with blankets and pillows on the living room for everyone. I go to my room to bed, and everyone else stays in the living room. Ben takes it upon himself to turn my stereo on and blast music at 3:30 in the morning.
Ben.
Cranking it up at all hours of the night. I have neighbors on the other side of the living room wall, and I'm also trying to get to sleep at this point. I have to tell him to turn it down 3 times before he actually listens. It's literally like speaking to a child. I go back into my room, and sure enough, not 5 minutes later, Ben turns the music back up. I walk out, and I'm more assertive this time, and he complies. The next morning, everyone had left except my roommate. My roommate informs me that Ben had the spice to sleep with Julie in the middle of the living room with our other guests in the same room. They all, of course, felt very uncomfortable. My roommate is telling me this as I'm cleaning up the mess in the living room. I notice a large spot on one of the blankets I laid out. It turns out that Benjamin buttoned all over my blanket.
Benjamin, no.
And he didn't feel obliged to wipe it up. Well, of course not. It's on the blanket.
He's a baby.
Anyway, now I'm fuming. Fumigating, probably. Ben has no regard for my home and doesn't care about the feelings of anyone else besides himself. He acts like a child, and I'm done with him, which works out because Ben plans on traveling for the next few months. I won't have to deal with him for much longer, so I bite my tongue. Well, I received a text today from Ben saying that he's back in town and he'd love to attend the New Year's Eve party. I really don't know what to do at this point. I want to tell him he isn't welcome in my home, but I also don't want to be unnecessarily mean about it.
OP, this is what you do. You text him and say, hey, dude, remember last time when you had spicy sleep in my house and didn't clean anything up? You're not invited again. Sorry.
Yeah, no, you actually can't be welcome in my house anymore after you banged somebody in, the company of 4 other people trying to sleep in my living room.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, so you're actually not really cool with me anymore.
Happy New Year's. Hope you're better next year.
But to be fair, no matter what you say, he's probably going to show up, crank it up, and
Benjamin everything.
Freaking Benjamin is button all over the place.
Oh, man. He can't stop.
So Ben is still friends with many of my friends. And to be honest, he has no idea that I dislike him at all. I've never expressed that to him, so he thinks everything is cool. What should I do?
Tell him I don't like him. You sit him down and you say, Benjamin, I don't like you.
You buttoned everywhere,
You
man.
button everyone. I don't like it.
You buttoned all over the good blankets, Benjamin.
Benjamin, I got those blankets from my mother.
And I can't confront you in a negative way, so all I can do is ask you to marry me.
Yeah.
Benjamin.
Benjamin's buttoning, Benson's booning.
Oh, man. And will you marry me?
Not gonna lie, if this guy could do a back handspring into a backflip, it would solve a lot of my problems with him.
I agree.
Should I just let him come to the party and avoid him there? I honestly don't want him in my home, and neither does my fiancé. But we both don't want to be mean about it. Any advice would be appreciated.
Be mean. That's my advice.
And then a little sideways face.
Aww, wah, wah.
Aw,
You send him a text and say, hey, Benny, keep your jets out of here. Nails. I don't want to see monkey emoji.
We're doing
these
brain
parts.
rot text
Yeah.
spams right now.
Yeah, brain
for
rot
anyone
text spam that you
who's
receive on
confused.
holidays. I hate you.
Top comments. Look, Ben, you disrespected my home the last time you were in it by Benjamining your buttons on my blanket and not cleaning up after yourself. As such, you are no longer welcome in my home. But also, why aren't you equally as mad at Julie about bonking in your living room? Ibity replies, probably Julie didn't have the massive history of being a total doofus that Ben does, so she was more forgivable. OP says, I've also only met Julie twice. Like I said, she's a friend of a friend. I was equally upset that she participated, but I don't really know her, and she's not asking for an invite to the party. Another commenter, girl rediscovered, says, quote, no, you aren't invited. Simple as that.
Simple and direct. I like
It's
it.
as simple as that.
I like it.
OP says, direct. I like it. Honestly, I know I have to stand up for myself here. I'm just trying to phrase it in a way that is firm but not rude. I do think he should be told why he isn't invited. Girl rediscovered replies, he's not invited because he's damaged your property in the past and you find his behavior offensive. It's your home. It's your party. It's your right to say no. Jiggle Daddy Dawkins. Not one of your friends told him to knock it the F off as he was banging someone in the middle of them. After the second time he turned up the stereo, I would have thrown him out of my house. OP says, I think they were just shocked. Yeah, no. That is weird. Everyone is way too non-confrontational in this story. For real.
Yeah, we need to stand up.
Just literally in the living room, you go, hey!
Stop it!
Stop!
Hey! Hey!
We hear you and we see you. Quit it. Stop. Transient Soul says, did you ever talk to Ben about his behavior previously? He was and likely is a giant butt for his actions, but he still deserves to know why he's no longer welcome in your apartment. OP says, I have never addressed my issues with him in the past. I guess up until this point, I figured it was his personality to just be awful. I was hoping he would just fade out of my life, but I see now that that won't be the case. It's time to act. I plan on messaging him this afternoon and expressing why he is not invited. And there's an edit. Thanks for the input, everyone. I really appreciate it. I decided to message Ben back and sent the following. Hey, Ben. Happy New Year to you, too. Already too happy. It would be nice to see you, but to be honest, the last time you came to my house, you disrespected me and my space. You had spicy sleep with Julie in the living room with others present and Benjamined all over my blanket and air mattress, and didn't feel the need to clean up after yourself, or at the very least, let me know. That being the case, I hope you understand that I don't feel comfortable having you over. I'll update again if and when he responds.
Nice.
And is there? Yes, there is an update. Let's go ahead and get right
Nice.
into that
Please.
pepperoni right there.
Dive right in.
So, this is 5 days later. I sent Ben this message after the original post. Well, we just heard it, so we know what it is. In response, Ben sent me the following. I do feel comfortable with how you feel about that. And yeah, it was a really rough night, and I'm not excusing the way I acted at all. And hopefully, I can give you an apology in the future in person. And then shortly after, added, I'd like to say I have matured quite a lot since that incident, and I'm really sorry that I behaved not like a friend, or really even a decent person.
That doesn't sound like Benjamin.
Did Benjamin put that text into a chatbot and say, how's the best way to respond to this to let me go to that party?
Yeah. How do I get invited to a party where I buttoned everywhere?
I was really surprised about how well he took the message. As I briefly mentioned in the first post, Ben left our workplace about 6 months ago to travel abroad, alone on somewhat of a finding himself journey. To be honest, I thought he would just use his experiences to boost his image and have something else to brag about, but maybe it was just what he needed to gain a little self-awareness. Can't be totally sure yet, but based on the maturity of his messages, I'm hoping for the best. On the other hand, I did feel like him saying that he's matured a lot since the last time we saw each other is a really easy thing to say, whether based in reality or not. He could have just wanted me to believe him and extend an invite. And by the way, I want to extend an invite directly to you, Stephen, or Pam, or maybe even Samantha, or Jane. Jamantha. Only those people are allowed to go listen to full episodes of stories just like this on their favorite podcast platforms like iHeartRadio, Spotify, or Apple Podcasts. Just search OK Storytime.
The rest of you have to search it on your least favorite podcast platforms.
Yeah, the rest of you will have to wait in line behind all of those people.
Yeah.
There is, a tail end of this story that we're wrapping
let's get
up.
To the button.
Let's button this up.
Let's button it up.
Shall we?
Please.
Bottom line is that he didn't show up to the party, and due to the lack of drama, the party was so fun. We had about 60 people show up and partied the night away. Having been at the party would have stressed me out, just knowing the possibility of him acting out existed, so I'm really pleased with my decision to put my feelings on the table. I'm planning on continuing to work on standing up for myself, even if it creates a bit of awkwardness or confrontation. And we have some more comments here. OP says, no, Julie wasn't invited. This didn't cause any issues, as we don't really run in the same circles. Our mutual friend has also started to distance himself from her since the incident. Yeah, since the incident of her boinking in the living room with everyone asleep. That's how you get kicked out of the house.
My fiance refused to let me buy a new car, but I still did it.
Vroom, vroom.
So me, 28 male, and my fiance, Ashley, 30 female, have been together for 8 years. I am the only one who drives, as she doesn't have a license, so she relies on me when transportation is an issue. Going to work, getting groceries, etc. By the way, this comes from Throwaway Carman, and if you want to submit your own stories, go to the r/OK Storytime subreddit. I'm Savannah.
I'm Sophia.
I'm Dakota.
And we are here to give some good advice, goofily. But we don't have all the answers. We'd only tell you what we would do in this situation, but let us know what you would do down in them comments. As Opie says, as for my car, it is a piece of poo-poo. I've had it for 5 years, and I do not know how I managed to make it last this long. It has nearly 250k miles on it. It needs 4 new tires, so all new tires, new brakes, The engine is worn, and according to the mechanic, the transmission will go any day now.
Dang, that card sucks.
So, getting a new car was a pretty big priority, at least for me anyway. Ashley didn't see it that way. Of course she didn't. She did not want me to get a new car at all. She started an argument with me that it would be too expensive and we wouldn't have any money for our wedding later this year if we buy one. But I have money. I have budgeted a lot, and I could afford to buy a brand new car without digging into my savings and still have plenty left in my checking. Good for you, OP.
Okay.
Granted,
Rich.
yes. I could have just bought a used car, but I swore to myself to get a brand new one because I didn't want high maintenance costs again. Yeah, basically at this point, I would get, like, I wouldn't try to get, like,
Yeah. And you
used
could
one.
always lease a car.
And if you can
know?
afford it, do it.
Yeah.
Why not?
I feel like you could lease to buy, you know?
Yeah.
Like you don't necessarily have to buy it right now.
Oh, for sure, yeah.
if you want to save some money.
Despite showing her the numbers and everything, and even agreeing that we would still have plenty of money, she still refused. I decided that I would get a new car anyway and bought one paid in full earlier this week. Wow.
Paid in full?
Okay, so
You had paid in full money?
yeah,
Dang.
why would she be so against it?
The thing
I don't
is,
understand.
I don't, regardless of whether or not because I kind of think that she's in the wrong for saying, like, you can't get a car. However, I also think he's in the wrong for just doing it anyway when they're about to get married, you know?
But
Like,
it's
I
out
feel
of
like-
his funds, though.
No,
It's not
I agree he fully has the right to. However, I think just in the sense that this does not bode well for their marriage or
Well,
their
yeah.
upcoming marriage.
Thinking of marriage, no.
I feel like
but-
you should have found a compromise or worked together as a team. But that doesn't mean that you don't have the right to do it. Like, it's your money. I just think, I guess my point is, I don't think this will help your relationship.
I mean, I don't even think he's thinking of that.
I don't think so either.
She was extremely pissed. Since then, Ashley has been avoiding me and figuring out other costly means of transportation on her own. The way I see it, getting a new car was an absolute necessity, but she did not think so. Did I really do something wrong? Should I have bought a used car? Is there something else I'm missing? And there are some comments.
No.
I don't know. I don't think you're the a-hole. I think
I don't think you're the
you
a-hole.
needed a new car and you got one.
I just think you need to have more conversations with your fiance and figure out what the underlying reason is. Because if you can't work as a team, then you probably shouldn't get married. And that's my thoughts.
Comment number 1 says, a couple of thoughts. Do you really want to be married to someone who can't pass a driving test?
I forgot that. Did they
Yeah,
say
I forgot
she can't
that she
pass a
couldn't-
driving
yeah,
test?
Yeah, she doesn't have her license, so she like
What?
relies solely on him to get places. But so that's why she's like taking like
Yeah.
costly transportation now, to, like get back at him. But
Weird.
I don't know.
It's your money.
A wedding cost $50 at the courthouse. This is too much drama. Not the a-hole. There's a reply. OP said everywhere else she's tried and just keeps failing. This isn't a medical thing. It's incompetence at basic adult tasks. Comment number 2. Not the a-hole. Did the car get paid coming out of y'all's money or just your money? But judging from last paragraph, it was y'all's money that was used for the car. Edit. It's your money that was used to buy the car. I don't know why she's so upset about it. OP replies, it was purely my money and my money alone. We have separate finances. Comment number 3 says, info. Did she have another solution as to how the two of you would be getting around? Example, is public transportation a reliable and viable option? OP responds, she did not have a different solution. She wanted me to keep my old car. Public transport is no help to me. Don't know about her, though. There was a reply. She wanted you to keep using the car that needed new tires and brakes and had an engine and transmission that could go at any moment. I mean, was she aware of the risks that this would pose? Not the a-hole. Obviously, since I can't for the life of me figure out what else you could have done, you needed a transportation solution and she wasn't being realistic in how you could approach such a solution. OP responds, that is correct. And yes, she was aware of the issues and there is an update.
That's the thing. It's like, no, you were not in the wrong. But, like, I really think you should have some more conversations with your fiance, because why is she so against it? We still don't know. All she said is the wedding.
Yeah. And that it has, those are two separate things.
Yeah.
Like, I'm guessing, well, they both have funds for a wedding. Like he said he has like savings for the wedding, but he didn't even like touch that.
Yeah.
He did it from his checkings and he still is
Yeah.
fine. So I don't know what her problem is, but I don't know. Let's sure. Update. In the
what her
arm,
problem
in
is.
the arm. Ow! There is an update. Hello, everyone. Thank you all for commenting on my first post. There is something I would like to address before getting to the update. There are a few lengthy threads about how Ashley must be using weapons of incompetence since she failed her driver's test several times. The written part she has passed. It's the driving section that she fails all the time.
Yeah, okay, yeah. So the important part.
So, yeah, so she is...
The part where we want her to pass because she's going to be on the road. Well, I guess I actually don't want her to pass if she is a bad driver.
You see, she has ADHD and is on the spectrum, so she tenses up a lot when she gets behind the wheel. While her anxiety has gone down in recent years, driving is still a sore spot. Now, many of you, including me, believed that this was all just financial mistreatment and she wanted control of my money. Well, we were all wrong. Yesterday, I went out to take care of a few errands, and when I came back, Ashley came to me with tears. It had looked like she had been crying for a long time. She apologized for getting angry at me and for avoiding me. She said she knew my old car was on its last legs and knew a new one was necessary. She also understood that there would be plenty of money left. Ashley admittedly wasn't mad about the money.
I knew it!
It was actually the memories of my old car.
See, we could have just had a conversation with her. We could have just
Please.
talked to her.
She only mentioned the wedding because she didn't want to sound pathetic and seemed to be the most obvious choice. You see, last year we had a 14-year-old German Shepherd that we sadly had to put down after she got... Ashley had her ever since she was a pup and loved her very much, and so did I.
14-year-old German Shepherd? Dang, that's old.
Ashley was an absolute mess after that. We never took down her crate and had placed her old blankets, pillows, as well as her leash and collar in it. What does this have to do with my car?
Wait, that's so funny. That's so funny. She's like, yeah. He's like, so anyway, yeah, we had to put down our dog. What does this even have to do with my car?
She went in it many times. We drove with her. She stuck her head out the window.
Aw.
I still had her old blanket in my old car whenever we took her out. Some of her fur was also still in the back seat, as I almost never vacuumed the back. Ew. Ashley was afraid of forgetting her, and that's why she wanted me to keep the car.
Aw.
By the way, we want you to listen to full episodes with stories just like this. Go to Spotify, Apple Podcasts, iHeartRadio, or your favorite podcast app and just search Okay Story Time. A little bit left. Any final thoughts?
I'm glad that you guys figured it out, that you got your car. But my advice is to, learn how to ask questions to each other and to be curious as you go into marriage. That's my advice.
Yeah. I think she's just a sentimental girl.
Yeah.
And there's nothing wrong with that.
No.
But, there is a problem when it affects, like, getting rid of, like, old things that you don't need that are just taking up space and that don't work,
Yes.
There's a time where it's like, all right,
Gotta go.
we're gonna end this chapter. Keep, like, little things.
Yeah.
Like, keep the collar, keep, a blanket or something. But, like, you don't... Unless you're gonna get a new dog, I don't think you need the crate just hanging around and, all the other things.
Yeah.
Like...
You could give it to some, like, if you have a friend who just got a puppy or, like,
That's
has a
true.
dog.
Or you can
Pass
donate
it
it to,
on.
like, shelters and stuff. They
Yeah.
always are taking stuff.
Mm-hmm.
All right, let's finish this up. I assured Ashley that I love her and that I loved our dog. If it meant anything, I took the blanket out of the car, which she asked me to place in the crate. I had donated my old car, but the tow truck won't be there to pick it up until tomorrow, so she asked to see the old car one last time.
Aw.
I don't know.
Let me see the old girl before she goes.
She's just sniffing all
Yeah.
this hair. She took like a little Ziploc and just is putting the hair.
One of those little evidence bags.
Oh, yeah, the little evidence. So we drove to the lot, and she had a tearful goodbye over it. I took her out to eat after that to get her mind away from it. So there you have it, everyone. This was never about money. There are some comments. Comment number 1. She still sounds pathetic.
Dang!
with that reasoning bringing up the wedding. She needs to grow up and learn to communicate.
Dang!
I have ADHD and am all over the place too. But we all have to participate in society whether we like it or not. This relationship won't survive unless she goes to therapy and takes it seriously.
Oh my god!
I
That
feel
was
like-
way too aggressive.
Yeah, it makes sense that you have ADHD because that came across emotionally like completely
Yeah.
unchecked.
It was like, "Ah!" It's like,
That makes
okay,
sense.
they actually solved it. We actually don't need your help anymore.
I know. OP responds, unfortunately, she takes her psychiatrist seriously, but her therapist, nada. That's the end of that story.
Well, there you go.
I mean, why'd they even have to put that comment?
yeah, that's, yeah.
My fiance is concerned about our wedding photos because of how I look.
It was because you were super duper hot.
My fiance, Dave, 32 male, and I, 34 female, have been dating for 2 years and live together. Earlier today, I was using his iPad to watch a show in our room because I wasn't feeling well, and we don't have a TV in our room. We don't use the iPad much, maybe a couple of times a month. By the way, this comes from Not Your Dad, Just Dingo. And if you want to submit your own stories, go to the r/OKStorytime subreddit. I'm Carly.
I'm not your dad, but I'm Keon.
And we're here to give good advice goofily, but we don't have all the answers. We only know what we would do. So let us know what you would do in the comments. And OP says, while I was watching, he was getting texts from a friend of his, Mike. The banner just said text message, so I kept swiping up, but they were coming on so fast. At one point, I accidentally opened the text conversation. To start, I'm not a beauty. That doesn't mean I'm not confident, though. There's rarely a day that goes by where I look in the mirror and feel unsatisfied with my appearance. How people treat women who do not fit any mold of attractiveness is a story for a different day, but I've often been referred to as a starter girlfriend or stepping stone, with claims that my exes had no confidence since they chose to date me or were closeted. Girl,
Huh?
what? Every guy I've ever asked out has said no. I'm not someone to date just to date. I don't chase guys anymore, and generally, I've always stayed away from dating. It took some time to trust that someone was interested in me and wasn't going to drop me when someone better came along. So the texts were Dave sending pictures of me to his friend, trying to figure out what my best angle is.
Why are we hold on? Why are we asking our friends? Wouldn't you be asking your partner? First of all,
Wouldn't
there's
we
such thing
just
as a
not
best
care
angle.
because we think
Yeah.
our partner is the hottest person in the whole wide world?
Yeah, exactly. There shouldn't be, but like, for one, I get uncomfortable with my pictures of me because I'm like, I know I have a better side. Yeah, see, I don't like pictures of me.
It drives me nuts.
I don't. That's just me.
I like pictures of you.
Thanks. I like pictures of you too. But if the only person who would be uncomfortable with the photo would be the person who's getting that photo. So like me, if someone's taking a photo of me, I'm like, let me see it. Carly would probably love it. I would be like, that's not my good side. This is my good side. Not my good side.
But you never say that when I'm trying to take a picture of you.
I just don't like photos of.
But
I
you
just
can
don't
so
like taking
easily be
pictures.
like, nah, get me from my good side. And I'll be like, okay.
And you're gonna reply with,
Everything's your good side.
and I'd be like, no.
Mike said that my left side is tolerable, I guess. If anything, you should tell the photographer to focus on that side. Dave expressed his frustration, saying, I think I do want to marry her, but maybe you're right. Just ask the photographer to edit some things here and there.
What is this text? What is this text message? I think I want to marry her.
Yeah, I think I want to is wild. Mike said, it would make you both feel better. Maybe just have photos of her straight on, since she looks best that way. I was more offended than hurt, and I'm still more offended than hurt. I know I'm not conventionally attractive, but to say I need editing in my own wedding pictures is so rude and demeaning. I took screenshots with my phone and handed the iPad back to Dave, so the first thing he would see when opening it was the conversation. He asked me how the movie was, and I told him it was great. Then we had lunch. I wear my heart on my sleeve, and he knew immediately something was up and kept pestering me about it. I kept saying I was still feeling off, but he kept asking. So I told him he should talk to Mike about his concerns, since he and Mike have so many opinions about me. He kind of turned white for a second before asking what I meant. I handed him his iPad and went to our bedroom and shut the door. He hasn't come to talk to me for a few hours, which is crushing me. We usually talk things through, but I don't know what to do. I know he hasn't left the apartment. We have an update.
I think, one, I want to see how he comes back from this, but I don't think there's any coming back from this. Yeah, just him texting his friend all those things, and I don't know. That's just really weird.
So
I would really start off like, do you want to get married? Because if you don't, let's just end this now. There's no point in this.
Literally, you want me to save you the trouble. We don't even need a photographer because we don't even need a wedding if you don't want.
You don't like that side of me? You don't like this side of me? You know what?
Because she's kind of okay straight on. Insane.
It's just crazy.
Update. 1 month later. There were a lot of comments, but more often than not, the comments told me to leave him and how I didn't deserve him and all that. We had a civil conversation, our first for a while, and he told me he had been wanting to break up for a while but didn't think it was right.
Okay, so let me help you out. We're breaking up.
Apparently, he cares about me, but had been wanting to break up for some time. He just felt bad. He also said he doesn't know how to handle criticism about our relationship from other people. So I took that advice and left. It only took a few days, and I hired movers to take my things. We talked a few times, but I was really busy with work and packing, so we stayed away from each other. I found an apartment for rent, and here I am. It's a really nice place, and I'm happy it is, but I can't say that I'm much happier. If anything, I might be a little worse off, I guess. Like in my original post, I mentioned how I'm aware of how I look. Now that I'm alone, it's all I can really think about. Talking about it with my family just leads to things like, oh, you're great, you're too beautiful to deal with someone so ugly, which only made it worse. All my friends are pretty, and the way we are treated in public is a constant reminder. Going out in a group to a club is like being a photographer getting shots of them, and one asked me to take a picture of him with everyone else. I've genuinely paid for more than half of everything. I'm not saying guys should pay for anything, but my friends are always getting things from their boyfriends or husbands, even cars. I'm definitely excited for them, but it is just a reminder. That sounds more like they just have crazy amounts of money.
Yeah, I don't know. Don't compare yourself to your friends.
I've been trying to work out more because I gained about 20 pounds since we started dating. I work out sometimes, but more often I snooze my alarm. There's a novel I'm trying to write, and I've gotten some written, but I'm having trouble staying motivated. I read and then get inspiration writing like 200 to 400 words once or twice a day, which is good so far. I found my 360 and have been playing Oblivion again, lol. I also draw a
Nice.
little.
Nice. Shout out to Elder Scrolls.
But my apartment is an absolute mess. But we have an absolute catalog of episodes for you guys to listen to for 90 days worth. Just go to Spotify, Apple Podcasts, or iHeartRadio and search up OK Storytime.
OP, this update is a month. I think you're doing
Yeah.
so many things in the right way and you're going on the right path.
I would highly suggest therapy if you can afford it. Truly, I don't believe that there's like a singular person out there that's so ugly if they're like a good person. Like,
Yeah.
you're just tearing yourself down, and it's like, no, you sound like a lovely girl. Like, there's no way. I think you just need some confidence. I don't miss him or anything. It's actually quite nice being on my own, but I'm just so sad. I don't have a distraction, maybe. I can't really put my finger on it. But overall, I am doing well. Everyone was right about leaving him because we had both grown pretty agitated with one another, and it was reaching a breaking point. Living alone has helped a lot. And we have some top comments. Mind Taker says, look, all your feelings are valid as F, so feel those feelings, and I hope you get better regarding being depressed. I will say this, then let you get back to slaying monsters and kicking butt. I was my wife's first actual boyfriend. She is disabled, and she doesn't think she's pretty. I think she's gorgeous. She was 36 when we met. You are never too old. You never don't have enough experience. Life's just an unfair BS game that we all have to play. Enjoy this time to yourself. Use it to remember why you do punt butt, so that when you meet the right person, you love yourself, which is the only way you will be capable of fully loving someone else. Cheers. Oblivion is an awesome game.
It truly is. Like I said, shout out Elder Scrolls. But switching gears, yeah, I think it's a very common guideline for a relationship is if you yourself are not happy or confident enough or anything like that, then you're not ready for a relationship. I think you need to build that confidence back up. Truly just be yourself and find someone who appreciates you and thinks you're the most stunning person in the world.
Yeah.
Like her.
I stood up to my mother for my fiance, and the police got involved. Wee woo! Wee woo! And there is a trigger warning for a physical altercation. I've been saving this story for a while and thought people would enjoy it. Some backstory. My now fiance, 29 male, and I, 25 female, met online through a friend and had known each other for a while. I was with someone else when we met, but I left that person and eventually confessed to my fiance that I had a crush on him for a bit. From that day, we started dating and have been together since. By the way, this comes from user Ember Nightwitch 0515. And if you want to submit your own stories, go to the r/OK Storytime subreddit where this story was submitted. I'm Dakota.
And I'm Savannah.
I'm Carly.
And we're here to give you good advice, goofily, but we don't have all the answers to everything in life. We only know what we know. So if you know what we don't know, tell us in the comments. A few months later, I was planning a trip to see him as he lived in a different state. While planning, he had some problems at home, including a raccoon coming through the ceiling. We decided that he would move to my state. I was still living with my mother, 57 female, at the time, and she had talked to him a few times to get to know him. I asked her if she would be okay with him moving in with us, and I never pressured her. I gave her multiple chances to say no, but she agreed, and he was aware and respected that. During the trip, my mother guilt-tripped me into coming with her. We went down, met my fiancé, and everything went great. I met his family and his friends. We packed his few possessions into my car and drove back home. The state and city he came from was rough, filled with substance problems, booze, weapons, and gangs. Despite this, he is a very good man who loves me wholeheartedly, treats me like a queen, and encourages me to be the best I can be. That said, he does have a temper and can be rough around the edges, sometimes saying things he shouldn't. We lived together for 2 years just fine, but in the 3rd year, he and my mother began butting heads, leading to screaming fights. My mother has her own issues. She has only one good friend and lets others walk over her and mostly works, watches TV, and smokes. I'm her only child, and she's told me to my face that she didn't want a kid because she was busy taking care of other people's children.
Well, that's a choice
interesting.
you made, Mom.
Yet, she uses me as a trophy, emotionally and mentally traumatizing me. I have tried setting boundaries with her in the past, but she makes herself the victim and becomes neglectful whenever a man gives her attention. The incident at hand occurred in May last year. My mother reconnected with a man, 59 male, who we'll call Seth, whom she hadn't seen since high school, about 40 years. Within days, they were dating, and within 2 weeks, she asked him to move in for just a month. My fiancé and I were uncomfortable, but I said yes since she agreed to let him move in. Moments after I said yes, she laughed and said she didn't know why she bothered asking since it was her house, even though all 3 of us paid rent. I wanted a new lock on my bedroom and bathroom doors because my fiancé worked 3rd shift and I was afraid to be alone. My mother suggested a small hook lock, but I bought a proper keyed lock myself so that only my fiancé and I could enter. Meanwhile, my coworkers helped me look up Seth's criminal record, which my mother had not shared. His record spanned from 1989 to 2017, including battery, reckless endangerment, disorderly conduct, resisting arrest, violating restraining orders, and destruction of property. I confronted my mother, telling her I didn't feel safe with him in the house. She tried turning it on me and my fiancé, saying she didn't feel safe with him because he had once taken a small amount of the devil's lettuce from her, which I scolded him for, and he never did it again. She tried to make us look unreasonable and wrong. I eventually gave up arguing and instead focused on getting our own car and finding a new apartment. By July, everything was set. though Seth had still overstayed the 1 month, and the landlord, my aunt, didn't intervene. The Thursday after signing the lease, we picked up our new roommate and began moving. My mother and Seth were out, so I moved our 2 cats, which was difficult because she had hidden their carriers. While packing, my mother stormed in and demanded the TV and AC unit. My fiance explained what she wanted and what she would actually get were 2 different things. She snapped and physically attacked him. He pushed her off him and eventually got her into the dining room, where she stumbled and fell into the table. I was in shock and had to jump over boxes to get out of the door. My mother finally gave up and said she was calling the police. She went to my aunt and called them while we kept packing and waited. When the police arrived, they separated us and had us each give statements. I was very emotional, but we cooperated fully. The police conducted a mandatory arrest, and my fiance went willingly. I grabbed a few boxes and returned to our new apartment, crying and explaining what happened to our roommate. By that time, my mother had already spread her version of events, and I was receiving nasty calls and texts from family members. I didn't have money for bail, and none of my family helped. My fiance was in jail for 3 hours before a coworker bailed him out. So, what did you guys tell the police? It should have just been like, yeah, we got in an argument and then she jumped on him and attacked him. Why is he getting arrested for being attacked? My mother then obtained a no contact order followed by a restraining order against him, claiming she was both in fear and not in fear. She also tried to use it to take our cats. Her evidence included a meme he posted unrelated to her and bruising on her arm, which she falsely claimed he caused. I had her on recording admitting the bruises were from me. At the hearing, the judge ruled in favor of a 4-year restraining order, but noted there was no proof for her claims. What are you doing, Judge?
There's no
She's like,
proof, but I'm just going to go ahead and just put this right here.
I'm making him from Boston. She's like, look, I was on a wicked bender last night, and I didn't hear a word you said, but I'm going to give you 4 years, and
To figure this out.
I don't know. You got no evidence, but I literally can't hear anything over the sound of the blood rushing past my eardrums. So get out of my courtroom. He also ruled the cats were property, meaning she could only pursue them in small claims court. The DA declined to pursue charges, so my fiance got no record. Retrieving our property was difficult as the locks were changed, and she demanded the cats in exchange for our belongings. Thankfully, our roommate and coworkers helped us recover most items. I didn't hear from my mother until January when she left a voicemail crying and apologizing. She periodically sends messages claiming she misses me, trying to guilt me into talking. She also attempted to use my father to convince me, but he refused. This past summer, we discovered through CCAP that Seth was the culprit behind further legal issues, receiving 7 additional charges. Well, he's just racking them up. He's going for the record.
Yeah, for real. I mean, what has this guy not done?
I still refused to talk to her, and some family members who took her side. I remain friendly with men and younger family members, but no one has asked for my side. And when I tried, my aunt shut me down, saying I was lying. But I ain't lying when I tell you. You can listen to full episodes of stories like this one on your favorite podcast platforms like iHeartRadio, Spotify, or Apple Podcasts. Just search OK Storytime. And there's a little bit left of this story. But yeah, I think clearly your mom's got a little bit of a degenerate streak in her. I think maybe if you were to have any contact with her, it would probably be best to do it in writing. My fiance encouraged me to hear her out and express my feelings while setting boundaries. I just cannot trust her to follow those boundaries given her history. I can't risk giving her an inch and having her take a mile. My safety and emotional well-being are my priority, and I will not compromise on that. I've talked to many coworkers, many of whom are parents themselves, and they're all disgusted and in disbelief by what my mother did. I'm pretty certain I'm not in the wrong, and I'm posting this more for entertainment than anything, but I'll still enjoy seeing the responses. And that is the end of that story.
I would say just go no contact. There's really no reason to like stay in it. You know, like what are you gonna get out of it? It's just gonna be like, it seems like it's always gonna be an argument. Someone's always gonna want something. It's always like a, you know, not even like a give and take. It just seems like it's more of a take. So like, I don't know.
Yeah, I think just anything, anything written down would be probably the best way if you were to want like closure or like, put something out there. Fun thing you can do though, since your mom, if you don't want to go that route and you want to be a little mischievous, since your mom wanted your cat so bad, you can go around her house and throw cat food around the perimeter. And then she can have a bunch of really fun feral cats congregating at her private domicile.